That's where I first heard of it. The
Hmm.
vegan game started this channel. That's like it's almost 10 years ago now.
Hmm.
What else happened? Oh God, dude, there was so much drama. Like, it goes deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. And a lot of vegans went out to nail it, because they're against having children. You know, they think the humans are destroying the environment and this kind of thing.
Hmm. Yeah. Were you ever a vegan?
Me, no. This shit was actually making me feel kind of sick. So no, I've never been a vegan. I know. Now the song is stuck in my head. Oh my God. Uh, cat is banging my window. I'm like screaming at me, like, "Oh my God!"
Your cat?
There's a stray cat outside, and they're like bullying me and banging on my windows, and they're like, "Give me food right now! Give me it now! Give me it now!"
Wow.
They're like, yeah, they're like really angry. I show you a picture of this guy. Let me see if I can get a picture of this mofo. This little guy.
Do you know Professor Dave Explains?
Yeah, yeah,
So
I know him. Yeah, he's pro
I've,
Palestine.
what?
He's pro Palestine.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, he thinks Israel is committing a genocide against
Yeah,
the Hamas or something.
Palestinians.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
What's this mess?
Hot mess.
What do you mean, what
What?
mess?
What happened?
Like, there's like a bunch of stuff. What's all this stuff? What's
Okay,
all
there's a lot of stuff like on the. There's,
on the
there's a lot
win?
of things there. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff on the window I need to clean off. Okay, I'm in the middle of something.
Oh, like you
It's
have
just a
pots.
colander and like a
You have
food tray.
like your kitchen is in your bedroom.
No, it's not. The kitchen is next to me. It's next to my bedroom. Okay. They're
Mm-hmm.
distinct different places. They're separated by a doorway and a wall and stuff. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's good.
But you see the cat, right? That's the point of
Yes,
it.
I see the cat. It's a fine cat. The cat is.
That cat is deaf, actually.
Oh, it's a deaf
White
cat?
cats are.
How do you
It's a
know?
deaf cat, and also these white cats. When I make noise, they don't hear me. Um, they're just really good at ignoring me, one or the other. But these white cats are genetically predisposed to be deaf, and this cat also has central heterochromia, which is not central heterochromia. They have heterochromia, sorry,
It looks
which
like
increases the chances of the deafness.
it looks like her right arm is missing, and she has like a Captain Hook's hook for
It's
an
just the way
arm.
their their paws like pressed against the window. I think that's
Yeah,
why it's like that. But
right.
their paws are fine. Their paws are
Yeah,
absolutely fine.
that's very interesting.
Yeah,
Do you get
and
snow
the
in the
cat
winter?
meows a lot.
What?
We actually had snow earlier today. Actually. Oh my god, these little cats, bro! Like they're just everywhere. There's so many of them. They're just a menace.
It, anyway, let me see the news. Where's the news? Um, like I don't understand why Brett Cooper is not making new videos. Like, what is she waiting for?
No, she's been taking a break. Probably like rich as fuck, chilling. But she's probably waiting for a contract from someone else. Someone will probably buy her out. You know, to get her own show from someone else. Like she's famous and has an audience. So
That
someone's
doesn't
probably
make
gonna
it.
offer her like,
That wait, are they eating bread?
yeah, sure.
Why would they? Why would you feed
I have no
cats?
idea. Who knows?
Why bread?
They're carnivores. I mean, I don't know.
It's like carbs. They're just gonna gain weight.
Yeah, they'll be fat and they won't be able to bother me anymore.
I see. Oh my
I guess somebody
god.
shut the fuck up for a few minutes. That's what I get from that. What's I gonna say? What was the previous thing you said?
I want to see the news like Brett Cooper.
Oh, Brett Cooper, yeah. But like, look at Lauren Southern. Like, she suddenly got a contract, so much fucking money. Working for
Lauren,
Tenet Media,
but
and she got, she was working for the Russians the whole time. And she went to like Parliament or whatever. They were like questioning her, like she was cross-examined by the government, the Canadian government, for like her involvement with Russia, and she's like, I didn't know anything. Blah blah blah. It's like totally nonsensical. Like,
so
it's like kind of crap in
Lauren
pool.
Lauren Southern. Oh, I was listening to Lauren Southern talk about her marriage and divorce.
Oh yeah, the one where she's sitting on the log in the woods,
I don't know where
and then
I don't know where she was sitting, but it was fascinating that she used to be red pilled, and then she
she used to
realized that
be
what?
right. But she used to be red pill. I mean, she says that, but I mean, she used to be libertarian. She used to be a lot of things.
Right,
Like
but
I mean, when it suits.
she no, you have to listen to what she how she explains what happened to her, that she became like a trad. She wanted to be a trad wife. She fell
Right,
into
of course.
the trad pill, you
Yeah, that's
know.
what she said. Right, yeah.
Oh,
I mean, she couldn't cut it as a trad wife because she's got like ADHD and she's like a dunce.
look
But yeah,
look
her
what
husband left her.
she explained. She was like she explained, like I don't know, like look, when somebody explains something, I believe them. It doesn't, like, I cannot assume that
I
she's.
understand that you believe.
So you think
I
she's
understand that.
lying? You think she's lying? You think people lie? You don't assume people are honest?
Yeah, like look at the thing with Destiny, right? There was a whole thing where she was supposedly having an affair with Destiny. Rolo Tomasi accused her of that. Everybody denied it, and then Brittany Venti did a whole bimbo ops thing on Rolo Tomasi, and it turns out actually they were having an affair when
Who cares?
Destiny was married to Melina,
Why is
because it
that?
shows that they're lying. Because they're lying, and that they
But
weren't.
it's personal life. Why do you care about people's
Sure, you're
personal?
changing the subject. We were talking about lying earlier.
But not about personal life. Oh,
What do you mean?
you're saying
But
we
she was
were.
talking about her personal life with her husband, how she was a trad wife. I mean, that's her personal life too.
Okay, so you're saying that Lauren Southern is lying about her personal life?
Yeah, I mean, even look at the Russia thing.
She
Like she's
didn't.
like, "Oh, I had no idea," and she's getting paid like 100 grand, like a video,
So you
like
think
on her YouTube channel. Like it's like hardly any views, and she doesn't have any suspicions. Like it's crazy.
you
Like
think
like
you think she knew that she was being actually paid by Putin?
I don't know if she knew exactly. She knew something was up, right? She's like pretending that she knows nothing at all, and that nobody would do the due diligence or whatever. But like that's right.
Is
Someone
it
offered me a hundred
illegal?
grand, I would
Is it
be suspicious.
mm, but is it illegal to receive money from Putin? Putin.
Uh, it can be, yeah, can be illegal. Yeah, if it's not declared. Anytime you get money from another foreign government, you have to declare it.
Well, but it's like from a pro. What if it's from a pro Putin, private person?
Um,
Anyway, the point. Look, I'll tell you the point. The point is her story makes perfect sense. It's like in order for her story to not to be a lie.
which
First of
story?
all,
Right.
what?
Which story? The trad wife story?
Yeah, the trad wife story. So the
Right.
story is like she said, okay, I'm gonna go trad. I'm gonna become a traditional wife. I'm gonna marry a traditional guy. I'm gonna have a traditional baby. We're gonna bring up the traditional baby in a traditional manner. And her
Yeah, I don't know
husband.
what that means already. I already have issues with this, but
Right. I agree that it doesn't sound like she loved him. It doesn't like it sounds like she wanted to have a traditional marriage without
mhm.
love. Like she never mentioned that
Right,
she was in love with that guy.
right. Which I mean, is like, and then she said she doesn't believe in the red pill. Like, I mean, what is she doing in a relationship with the guy? You know,
No, but the point is like but it sounds like she was
she's all out of love.
like being somewhat.
I'm not gonna sing all out of love right now.
No, it's good.
She's being
But it
somewhat what?
sounds like I'm looking for when did I see it? Like it came up, it popped up in my.
It's on her YouTube. It's on her YouTube channel.
I'm in her YouTube, so interspecies
It's like a
communication.
4 hour long video. If you scroll down,
Maybe it's in the live.
no, it's in the regular videos. If
No,
you scroll down, it's like 3 hours long. It's just beneath
but
the
from what year is it?
video
Like
you just missed
I guess
from like
it's
last year.
from last year.
It's around there, yeah.
I'm all out of
If you
love.
scroll down a little bit, that's it.
Um, things are not looking good. Nine to
Oh
five
my God, maybe you're right. Actually, maybe it is
on
like a
somebody else.
live.
Maybe it's what?
Maybe you're right.
What do you mean right about what? Right about what?
Maybe it's on the live side, the live video.
Um,
Oh no, it's not. What the fuck? Orange Southern.
where's that video? Maybe it's not on her
Did she
channel.
delete? You think she deleted it?
Maybe. I don't even know what to look for.
Oh, found it.
You found it?
She unlisted it. Wait, what?
No,
Oh
nobody.
no, this is a different video. Sorry, this is a different video. Uh, what? That's a different video.
Ugh.
No, this is a completely different 3 hour long video.
I don't think it
That's
was a
weird.
3 hour. It was like a couple
Dude,
of
this is
minutes.
like a long video. Dude, it's a long ass video.
The
Is
Canadian
it the
mass,
whole truth?
the whole truth.
Yeah, it's called The Last 5 Years. Isn't it? The Last 5 Years.
Hello,
It's the
Onyx.
name of the video.
Wait, you found it?
I found the name of it. But I can't find the actual video anywhere. I must have deleted it.
Wait, let me share meinen Screen. Meinen Screen. How do you share? Okay, this way, without the audio. Okay, here's my screen.
Yeah, well,
So
what are we looking at on your screen?
we're looking for the video. Where
Okay, yeah, the video. If you can search the channel, it's The Last 5 Years. Is the name of the video.
oh, so you found
It's
it?
from 2023. I didn't find the video. No, I just found the title of the video. I can share
Mm,
like a reaction to the video, if that helps. But the video, I can't find it anywhere. Like, so she must have took it down.
do you think it was on her channel to begin with?
Yeah, why wouldn't it be?
Maybe.
Wait, where else would it be?
I don't know. Oh, this is the video? Reacting to. Oh, reacting.
Today. I also feel the need to talk about it
I
because
found
I
a
know
video where
how many.
she made 7 years ago called "How to Be Single," and the top comment is "This
Oh,
aged like
wait.
milk."
No, I've
Someone
seen.
mad at you.
So I've seen a video where she's sitting in the woods.
Yeah,
Oh, there's many videos where she's in the woods.
Or what?
I'm saying I'm looking for a video where the thumbnail is that she's sitting in the woods, but I'm not.
Yeah, there is, but she must have deleted it.
You
Like,
think
it's nowhere to
so?
be found right now. Yeah, I mean,
I
where
think
is it?
I think she was suing him. He was suing her. Oh, debating a vegan about his disorder. Really? What disorder? The vegan disorder?
Who?
It's one of her
What?
videos from 2 years ago, debating a vegan about his disorder.
I haven't ever seen it.
How modern
The
food
end
is
of. Oh, okay, the end of man.
the end
Oh
of
yeah, she believes like the Tucker did a documentary. She believes the whole soy thing because the whole soy thing got spread by her co-worker. What's her name? The other Canadian chick from Rebel Media. What was her name? Oh my god, the racist chick.
Lauren Chen?
Sorry?
Something Chen?
No. It's not. No, that's a different studio. Audio. You're talking to Tenant Media. I'm talking about Rebel Media. It was a Canadian place run by Ezra Klein or whatever his name was. Ezra Miller or whatever his name was. Whatever his name was. Yeah. So the guy. I don't even know. What's the chick's name? What was her name? She's like 100% in Canada.
Like she's half Chinese, right? The half Chinese
No,
chick.
she's not. No. She's not.
Okay, so I don't know where that video is.
Yeah, she deleted it. Canadian
Oh, why I'm
Rebel
not married?
Media.
Why I'm not married? No,
No, I just told you
no.
the name of it. It's called The Last 5 Years.
Then,
Kate Goldie was the name of that woman, by the way.
oh, I don't know. Podcasts, playlists. Really weird. Really, really weird. Sorry, it's up again. This video isn't publicly available. Is this the one? I'm all out. There it is. Hey, trad wife, when are you going to address the Destiny leaks?
Destiny Leaks. Oh my god, it's hilarious.
Lauren, I just finished watching the hearing from the committee. Okay, that was
That's
disgusting.
Destiny. Oh my god, the comments are like
This is
hating on her so hard.
petty.
That's why she deleted it. They're all talking about Destiny.
Oh, Comrade Southern, how is being a paid Russian
Okay, Russian
propagandist?
propaganda. Oh my
Oh
god.
my God. Um,
What's that comment with the read more? What's the go scroll up a little bit? When it says the VOD. Up above that.
that's it. Where? What?
Up. Where's it gone? There's the one with the VOD. Yeah, there you go. The one there it says
Where?
read more. I put back up the VOD from years ago. This means your whole
This
divorce
one?
situation. Come on, if you do. Yeah, what's talking from
Now,
years
put
ago?
back up your VOD from a
Uh,
year back that
yeah,
explained your whole divorce situation. Come on. If you did nothing wrong, then you have nothing to fear from Brittany Simon's recent video
I think I
about
found it. It's not on
your
YouTube though. It's
oh, he
on
calls him your
Rumble.
ex boy toy. Oh, wait, Destiny? Oh, and in the
Yeah,
death.
yeah. She had an affair with Destiny.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but it wasn't a boy toy. You could hear that she's in love.
with
Oh,
Destiny.
yeah, you could hear from the text. And in the death rows of your content creator career, can you do the
I put the
entire
link in the
internet a
side chat.
favor? Yeah, I heard. Yeah, a favor and throw both Nepo Baby, Nuance Bro, and Brittany Stinky Venti under the bus on your way out. I don't know what he's talking about.
Because Brittany helped her with the whole bimbo ops thing against Rolo Tomasi. Because Rolo's had it in for her since she interviewed Rolo years ago. Yeah, this
So
must be the video.
is
Does
this?
that look familiar?
Yeah.
I
But
think
is this her channel? Is this her Rumble?
no, it's not. No, it's not.
So somebody else, she's not like
That's her video.
she's not doing like a copyright strike.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if Rumble will even honor that.
All
Like, I
right.
don't even know if they'll take it down.
Lauren is in the woods again, which means this is going to be a wild ride of a video. So sit down, get some tea, some wine, something
Might
stronger,
not
whatever
even
works for you.
hear.
I have a long story to tell, one I've avoided
Plus
for
the
far too long.
copyright strike thing is
What?
difficult. Like, she probably doesn't want people knowing where she lives.
It's funny that no one knows where she lives.
She probably doesn't want anyone knowing where she lives.
Okay.
Yeah,
Avoided
you know,
because
the
I had to
copyright strike.
Oh, that's why she's not issuing a copyright strike.
get processed it yet,
I don't know.
and I
So then it would be on
I
YouTube
can't
as
hear it.
well.
hadn't really understood the changes that I needed to make to my life and my soul as a result of
Oh,
living it.
you're right.
And
Yeah,
I think I'm finally at a place where I'm ready to tell you all.
I can't hear anything.
So
Oh, I didn't
Let
do
me check
the
your YouTube. Can I
audio.
see?
Yeah, I didn't. You
That's
know, it's
okay. Don't worry about
impossible.
it.
It's impossible to change. Like once you start streaming, you cannot modify,
That's okay.
change. Oh, there it is.
Please. That's fine.
Here you go. But you're gonna have an echo now. It's gonna be like whatever you say, you're gonna hear.
Yeah, I know.
young men and women are like me, who grew up.
Oh no,
Yeah, I'll just watch it on YouTube, maybe.
but somebody's watching it
Yeah,
on
well,
the side, so this is reacting to. Oh, wait, sorry. Yeah, this is a reaction video. This is not the
no,
original.
I can't do anything about that. But the original is included. I don't know how it might be included.
Oh, so it's like it's not
One of the
really.
most deeply uncomfortable things in life is to live in contradiction. It eats away at you until you either
Wait, no, this is the original. Oh, this is the reaction. Oh, let me shut this down. Okay.
decide to give up on morality and structure, or until you decide to destroy the contradictions that you have in your life. I've spent the last few months, more like years, living in contradiction and trying to get out of it. My first whole truth video that I made was an attempt to do that with regard to my political career. All the things that I'd seen there that didn't quite line up to the public perception of that world I was
She
involved
also
in. But
unlisted the whole truth video. I don't know if you saw that.
I don't know what the whole truth is. Like, what did she say there?
It's telling everything about her career and stuff.
What about
It's
her?
like a 3 hour long video.
Okay. I'm wondering why she's wearing a tank, like a what do you call this? A wife beater, a tank top? Like she's showing a little bit of boobies. I'm wondering if it's intentional.
this video, this one is a lot more difficult to talk about because it's about my ideals for my own personal life being painfully contradicted by reality. I won't pretend that this is the whole truth about my personal life because no one will ever know that about anyone, but it is a large part of the truth that I feel I have a moral obligation to tell you all given my platform. When I met with Professor Jordan Peterson a few weeks ago for dinner when he came to Vancouver to do his show, we talked a little bit about what had been going on in my life for the last few years, and he gave me an excellent piece of advice saying one of the easiest ways to turn your life around or really anyone's life around is just not to lie. Even white lies and omissions can lead you down dark paths. And well, your Twitter feed gets pretty wacky, Dr. Peterson. He is certainly a bastion of simple moral truths that we seemingly always forget, and a very, very kind man. A lot of the things I'm going to talk about today, as I mentioned earlier, are things that took me a long time to process before being ready to share them publicly. And some of them I really didn't want to share at all because I know that public statements about private events in your life inevitably lead to people demanding receipts. I have the receipts for everything I'm going to say, but due to wanting to protect the privacy of other people, I'm not going to just splash them up on screen. In fact, I'm probably going to be more vague about some things than you'd like, just to keep everyone's privacy and dignity intact. This is my real life, not some e-drama hit piece on another creator. If there are people or journalists in the space I trust who want to privately verify information, I will do my best to cooperate. For now, just know that if I say something, I can prove it. I say that because, believe me, this story is stranger than fiction. It really is. It's somewhere between a fever dream and a deeply ironic tragicomedy. At sometimes, it feels like it was made perfectly to give maximum schadenfreude to people who might hate me. But its lessons, if there is one, is that God really, really works in mysterious ways. Because despite how much pain I'm going to talk about in this video, despite how sad it's all going to seem, it's not a tragedy overall. It really is not a sad story in the end. But it does begin with tragedy, and that tragedy is separation. I'm no longer married, and not by choice. I thought long and hard about how to talk about this because it's not easy for anyone. This is like my fourth, maybe even fifth time filming this video because, quite frankly, I cried way too much the first few times I did. And that's not stuff I want immortalized on the internet. And I've only really talked about this story deeply with a small number of friends and family before now. And one of those friends observed correctly that no one goes into marriage thinking that they're going to get divorced. And that's true. But if you wanted to go the whole facts don't care about your feelings route, I can easily point out that nearly 50% of all marriages end in divorce. However, that does not change the reality that when you are wearing a white dress or a tuxedo and either watching someone walk down the aisle or walking down it yourself, you always think of divorce as something that happens to other people. It could never happen to you. But it did. My husband left me. If any fact does not care about my feelings, it is that one. Now, many of you might hear me say this and still wonder why I'm going to talk about this at all, even if it's true. I don't blame you. There was a time when I myself would have asked, what kind of unstable narcissist splashes
She has very thick thighs.
the details of their wedding and separation all over the internet? Part of me still would rather not talk about any of this. I have clearly avoided it for 2 years, but
I mean, it's difficult to know because when if any person leans on something and the thighs expand, but maybe she has thick thighs. I don't know.
for better or for worse, I am a public figure, and if I take my ring off, as I should have a long while ago,
Check her Instagram and see.
I don't think I have access to Instagram from here.
people are going to have questions. And if I don't tell this story, it is very possible that someone
Wait, did you say something?
I said you don't have access to Instagram.
Not on this. I don't know if I set it up already on this desktop.
with little to no
It's a relatively new desktop, new environment.
for me will, as often happens on the internet, or rather tell a garbled and inaccurate version of it in order to hurt or discredit me. And painful reality is already bad enough without having to correct a more painful lie. But that's not the only reason I want to talk about this today. I also feel the need to talk about it because I know how many young men and women are like me who grew up in conservative Christian households and are desperate to experience marriage, or at least what they think experiencing marriage is, without realizing what it actually entails. And by doing what most influencers do best, omitting the difficult details of my life, not only am I living in a painful contradiction myself, I'm denying what may provide some important truth to my audience. Something I've always promised you guys, but failed to deliver here for far too long because it has been a personally difficult truth to tell myself. We all like to talk about owning people with hard facts and logic until those hard facts own us. I find far too often online we portray marriage the same way that Disney movies do, as the end of the story. You've made it. The adventure is complete. When you actually get married and you surround yourself in deep personal relationships with others who are, you learn very quickly this is not the case. And that's worth talking about. However, before we get into that, we do need to talk about the facts and the feelings that led me here. So let's get into why my marriage went wrong. Let me preface this by saying I do not want to turn this into a political thing. This is not man versus woman or feminist versus patriarchy. This is or was my real life, and I'm not trying to assassinate my ex-husband's character. I'm just trying to recount what really happened, what I actually experienced, and the impact it had on me and my child. I find that when people take to the internet to talk about and discuss anything regarding relationships, the modern tendency is for either side to concoct their villains, to make the man out to be some evil mastermind or the woman out to be a heartless femoid vampire. This is silliness and does not encapsulate real human relationships whatsoever. That being said, though, I won't lie, I definitely failed at being a heartless femoid vampire because those stories usually involve women who marry men for their money, their looks, their power, or even their fame. None of those things even slightly occurred to me as reasons to marry my husband. I married him because I loved him, and because I wanted to dedicate the rest of my life to him, and because we had the same values. He was staunchly conservative, Catholic, wanted a family, and said he wanted to grow old together once we had spent our youth raising those children. When I married him, I absolutely thought I'd made the best decision of my entire life, as many do. Now, if you've followed me for long enough, you probably know that I love making impulsive decisions that seem like a good idea at the time, but start to show their downsides awfully quickly once it is too late, which is exactly what happened here. Marriage was this massive dream for me. I mean, despite my media antics, traveling around the world, building this career, I genuinely did want that stay-at-home wife life that so many LARP about online. I really was just so desperate for this life that I had in my head that I assumed my husband had in his head as well. And as a result of that, I rushed into marriage. Like a college kid who picks up the Communist Manifesto and decides to join the revolution, I simply never bothered to ask some of the most obvious questions, like, can this person deliver what they claim to want? Or can I trust their promises, in this case vows? Or will reality simply break them into pieces? For any marriage, this is a question that cannot go unanswered. But as I was soon to learn, it was especially vital to know the answer in my case, because being married to me has its own unique challenges. The main one being, I am super, super controversial. And for someone with a respectable job like my husband had, that's a big problem. The thing is, though, calling it a respectable job is underselling the situation a bit. A lawyer is a respectable job. A doctor is a respectable job. You can even consider a teacher a respectable job. But for the most part, those respectable jobs do not require a security clearance. My husband's job did. And I know that there will be rampant speculation about what that means, but I really don't want to hurt his career any more than I may have already by getting into the details of it. Sorry, guys, I'm just adding this later, but I don't really know why I'm mincing my words here. Obviously, I do not want to hurt my ex's career, but at the same time, it's pretty damn obvious my ex worked for the feds. I know, enjoy the memes. It's all absurd and weird. He wasn't like head of right-wing investigations or anything like that. It was more of an innocuous role. But that whole apparatus, they know each other, they work amongst one another, and it sure as hell complicated things, to say the least. It's really hard for me to talk about all of this in general, which is why I have it all written down on paper, putting on a strong face, but I've spent way too much time living in fear. It may sound ridiculous to some of you, but I do live in fear of the government for talking about stuff like this. I have suffered. My family has suffered as a result of this entanglement with the state and my activism. And I am a bit traumatized by it all, if I'm being honest. I've spent hours, days of my life with my newborn child in questioning sessions, wondering if I'll be allowed to see my family. I've been under active political investigation that I haven't talked about publicly, had the state detain me until I gave up all my tech devices and passwords to them, even during times when I had no involvement in politics at all. I've been barred from multiple countries, including Australia now. And after all of this happens to you, it becomes really difficult to discern what is and isn't just invented paranoia in your head. It becomes hard to tell what could be done to you next if you say the wrong thing and if you could hurt the people that you love more. You become aware that you're on government agencies' radar, but you don't know how much time or effort they are investing in messing with your life or psyche, and it has made me terrified to talk about almost anything these days. And at times, it has made it difficult for me to discern reality. So I hope you can all understand why I'm being so awkward and vague in a lot of this video. I'm a lot better now, I am, but it's still this like constant nagging fear in the back of my head. The Lauren Southern you knew, who started in activism, bright-eyed and bushy-tailed at 18, 19 years old, got the living shit beat out of her psychologically. But I am getting a lot better lately, and making this video is one of those big moments of getting out of my paranoia, conquering some of my fears. So I hope some of you can appreciate that and understand why I'm beating around the bush with some topics in this video. This is a big step for me. But anyways, back to what I was saying.
Right, I didn't know that.
I mean, all I will say is that
What
parents
did you not know?
I didn't know that she married a Fed and they messed her.
You didn't know that?
No.
You've got so much lore to go through. All this.
Well, yeah.
a high-level security clearance.
Onyx, I cannot hear what you're saying. You're like really far from the mic if you're speaking.
Being a Fed is. Hold on, give me a second. Give me a second.
Okay.
With
I'm
an
gonna fix my
activist who
microphone.
obviously has problems with almost every government around the world for her anti-government sentiments, that is going to be a nightmare no matter who the people are. And we both knew that going into dating, let alone marrying. We knew it would be tough. We discussed the possibility that he might either lose his job or forfeit any chance at advancement if he were to marry me due to my activism. In fact, that and the massive distance between us were two of the main reasons for me being apprehensive about dating him in the first place. I didn't want to live in Australia or complicate his life's work for that matter, and I told him so very clearly. And yet he claimed to care so deeply, so much for
She's Australian or what is she? Australian? No, she's Canadian.
Canadian. She's
Canadian.
Yeah. Well, her partner must have been Australian.
Okay. Okay. No, I don't. I doubt it. I think he's an American
You don't think
Fed.
so?
No,
Oh, really?
I don't know. She. I don't
You
know.
could be right. You could be right.
We'd have to look it up. Okay.
for me that he was willing to switch careers if he had to.
Oh,
He would
Vegan
move to
Gains
Canada at the
is
drop of a
live
hat
right
to be
now.
Wait, what?
Said Vegan Gains is live right now.
Okay. What do you want to do a review, like a live review of vegan gains?
I just got I just got a notification.
If he's saying something controversial, maybe we can do a live review of, like, if he's saying something vegan.
How's
Like-
my microphone now?
Like once I was doing a live review of vegan gains while he was live streaming, and he tried to text me, and whatever he did, he couldn't reach me. I wasn't getting notification. He was getting so upset.
So what happened?
While he was streaming live, he was trying to notify me he wanted to join my Discord. He wanted to debate me live while he was streaming live.
Okay.
And I wasn't getting the notifications, and I was streaming live, I think, reviewing his debate with Scientific Snitch.
Oh yeah. Okay.
It was in those days when I was preparing her. Anyway.
be with me. And that was one of those
Onyx, you gotta fix your mic.
Speaking
You're
of,
like a mile away.
speaking of divorces, Lauren got divorced.
Face of
Did
Evil.
you
Can
hear
hear
that
me?
Vegan Gains got divorced?
Can you hear me properly? Face of Evil.
Kind of. I'm kind of like you're speaking to a Pringles can.
You're far from your mic. Like, why are you so
So
far from your
far
mic?
away.
What's the point? Just get close to your mic.
head over heels romantic moments that I think every girl wants to hear. The career, it's just not as
What?
important as you. I'm
It's
willing
a
to give it up.
webcam.
What webcam? Just get close to your mic. I have to guess what you're saying.
The
Everyone stop.
microphone is a webcam.
Fine. Just stay close to the microphone. Stay close, or get a headset. Like, I'm wearing a headset so that, like, my audio is impeccable.
My
Notice he
old
did
headset broke,
So
and
it's
I
like,
moved into a new place. So that's why I don't have one. And I'm snowed in, as you know I'm snowed in. So that's why I
Yeah.
can't get a new microphone. Right.
really, you don't have Amazon because of the snow?
Dog, have you look up like Kansas weather?
Okay, fine. All right. I'm
Like it's
sorry.
been
What
unrivalable
happened?
right now.
What?
Okay, that's the reason. Then fine. Okay, just try to stay close to the mic.
did mean it because he did move to Canada to be with me and he did change jobs. And during his time here, we had some truly beautiful moments together, which I will never regret. The most important of which being our decision to get married and have a son. I wanted a son and a daughter. So did he. So really, looking at the situation at the time, it was like, what's the problem here? Well, the problem was that, like with most couples, people have honeymoon periods. And when ours ended and the more mundane life set in, I was actually pretty content with it. I was really happy with it. But for my husband, it seemed like the reality of losing his life's work was beginning to set in. And understandably so. To give up his home and job that he had spent every day of his life working towards, risked so much for, achieved all the status and respect, to just throw that away and be nobody, that just got harder and harder for him to cope with, especially once he started.
That doesn't make any sense. Who would do that? What kind of a guy leaves his job? Why would he do that? That doesn't make any sense.
Maybe I could get a different job or some other kind of
Why
job.
would you do that? You have a career. Like, the guy's career is his personality. You never want to mess with that. Like, she should
You
have
don't get
known.
another job. People change careers, right? Like,
No. That
no.
I mean,
Somebody has to change-
obviously, I mean, I could have told her that's gonna backfire. Obviously, that's
Yeah, yeah.
that's terrible.
started doing the more boring work he had in Canada and found it, frankly, intolerable.
There you
And
go.
it's not that I simply left him alone with these feelings. I did not. I did my best to comfort and make things easier for him. I obviously had some savings from doing YouTube before, and I used that to split rent, pay for groceries and life costs, and kind of take that burden off his
She was supporting him. That's the last thing you want with a trad guy. Jesus.
shoulders whenever I could, took care of the home, our child, both when I was pregnant and after I'd given birth, because that's what you do in a partnership. You give 100% of what you can to build up, the team. But it wasn't enough because the fact was he was still trapped in jobs that felt like dead ends after what he had given up before. So perhaps it is not surprising that a few months or so after I'd given birth, he accepted a new job.
Like, he went to work at a grocery, basically, after managing like the FBI.
How's this?
What?
It might be worse.
Why?
Job in Australia, one that was closer to the kind of work that he had left behind. And when I say he accepted it, I mean without my input. He didn't consult me at all. He just announced one day that we were moving
See,
to
in
Australia.
Australia.
Which again, I understand. When you feel as trapped as he clearly did, you will gnaw off your own leg. And telling your wife to pack
So one day he told her we're moving to Australia? What?
No, he wait, weren't they already in Australia? I don't know. Like,
I don't know. So but look, I'm gonna assume that he was an American. He moved to
why?
Canada. Oh, maybe he's an Australian. Maybe he's like a Fed, his Australian Fed. Let's
Yeah,
continue listening.
that's what I'm saying.
Will make sense.
Back suitcase probably felt minor in comparison, but that does not change the fact that he had said he would live in Canada. And finding this out right after I'd given birth and just started to rebuild my community support systems after such a chaotic change in my life came as quite a shock. All of which is to say I was a little upset. A little upset he hadn't consulted me because I felt we should make these decisions together as a couple. And to be clear, I didn't actually refuse to go. I just told him I would have had an easier time supporting him in making that move if we had talked about it properly beforehand. Which, rather than kind of change his tune and take the approach that I wish we had in the first place of talking about it together, his response was to say I either make the move or he would divorce me. Now, when I made my wedding vows, I meant them in sickness and in health for as long as you both shall live. Period. So hearing that divorce was even on the table for him was devastating and life-changing in its own right. Because from my perspective, the entire point of being married was that you will not leave each other. You support each other through anything, no matter what.
Okay, when a guy says that, either he doesn't love you. The question is, did he love her? I don't understand. Did they like? She says she loved him, but did he
Well,
love
he
her?
left her.
I don't know.
So I mean,
I don't.
if he left her, I mean, it seems like he didn't. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know.
And because
No, you could be messed up in your head. You could love a chick and leave. I mean, yeah.
true.
You could be advanced, idiot.
even thinking about the idea was too upsetting, let alone risking it actually happen, I ultimately decided to put my misgivings aside and simply made the trip to Australia with him. Although I did have friends and family telling me that these were not the pretenses I should be making a move like that under. And maybe it seems naive to you watching, and you can kind of see how the future is going to go here. But I was still bright-eyed and bushy-tailed with a child and a husband that I loved, and believed that that was just a one-time occurrence. That was a one-time threat. And our marriage certainly did not have an easier time in Australia. Getting in, as I've already explained before, was a nightmare for me. One which ultimately required me to give up my political career. Yet even without politics, I was already staring down the barrel of travel restrictions or similar issues. And all while my husband was not only seemingly ashamed of me, but paranoid that discovery of our marriage by certain individuals would impact his work at his new job. Even under the best possible circumstances, feelings like that would eventually curdle into resentment, and they did here. His resentment did not come from nowhere. His position undoubtedly suffered when his colleagues became aware that I was his wife, but even so, it was absolutely not healthy for either of us. He was forced to live with a wife who he increasingly saw as a millstone around his neck, whereas I was trapped alone in Australia with no family or friends and a husband who resented me. The low point of this all was probably lockdown, which for me was so traumatic that I have repressed large chunks of my memory. I cannot tell you guys how lonely and painful it was being stuck by myself in a big house all day with someone who, for weeks at a time, would hardly acknowledge me beyond a dismissive hello, or worse, just give me reminders of what absolute deadweight I was for his life and career. I mean, even going outside, the streets were mostly empty except a couple kangaroos. There weren't community events going on. I couldn't meet new people. It was like I was living in this eternal limbo in that country, tormented by the idea that my husband might leave us at any moment. Particularly tormented because I still loved him, but also having left work to be a stay-at-home mom, I certainly did not have enough funds to support myself or our son if he were to do so, and no way to return home to my family because of government COVID restrictions at the time. I didn't want to get too political at this part of the video, but I really don't think people realize, certainly not governments, the absolute depths of darkness that lockdown brought to some of us. As I mentioned earlier, I filmed this section like 3 times, and I cried the first few times. I'm finally at a point where I can read this without breaking down, but it was just completely horrific for me, and I don't think my mental health has even recovered to this day. As I said, I can barely remember many of those months because I don't want to rekindle them in my mind. And make no mistake, I was trying, even though it was a pretty depressing situation to be in. I spent literally every day of my waking existence desperately trying to think of ways to make my husband see me, to love me the way that he used to. If I just cooked dinner right, if I made the perfect dessert, the perfect breakfast, if I ironed enough of his shirts, if I made the right amount of romantic gestures, then maybe he would feel differently about me. I really tried all of it, but nothing worked. It's clear to me now in retrospect that to my husband, our marriage was already over. And he was looking for every excuse, no matter how small, to end it in law as well as in fact, which might explain why I never so much as uttered the word divorce once when we were living together, and he brought it up easily over 100 times. And often over things that still make no sense to me to this day. But sense or no sense, I kept trying to fix whatever problems he would raise without regard for how possible they were because we were married. I think because he had acknowledged the threat to his career that marrying me would pose at the beginning of our relationship and seemingly accepted it, he never would use this as his reason for divorce. But it was something he brought up every day as a frustration, all while pinning his divorce reasons on seemingly less important things. One such complaint had to do with my ADHD. He told me he could not be with me unless I fixed it, like absolutely fixed it. So I tried. I went and I got officially diagnosed in Australia at a specified clinic. I began taking Vyvanse, which is like an ADHD stimulant drug. There's like Concerta, or you've probably heard of Ritalin. I started taking that daily to try to manage it. I understand even now how frustrating having a partner with ADHD can be, largely because it frustrates me to have it. But I did everything one can possibly do to try to manage it, and it still wasn't enough. I was repeatedly told that I was not making enough progress in that department.
What are her symptoms of ADHD? What does she do?
I have ADHD.
So what are the symptoms?
Are you asking about their internal experience or like how it impacts her action?
No, I mean, he was complaining that she has ADHD, so he's experiencing symptoms. Like, what are the symptoms? Like, why did...
So sometimes, like, how it affects your actions, like around other people.
Yeah.
It can be like you have an inability to pay attention, so it might, like, you may be forgetful, or when someone's talking to you, like your mind may bounce around to different topics, like when it doesn't seem like relevant.
Wait, where's the
so like it can...
The face of evil left? That's terrible.
Yeah.
Okay.
It can...
So like you
Task
like,
initiation is a big one.
it's what initiation?
Task initiation. So the amount of effort, mental effort it takes you to start a task is like higher.
Okay. Okay, I don't know. I mean, okay, let's continue.
And it seems like a silly thing to be so important to me. It's, I've never really had it be an issue in the past. I've never even really had to take stimulants for it. But when it's your partner, the person you've married, that cares about something, it makes it really important to you as well. And if you have ever been made to feel worthless or unlovable for something that you can't change about yourself, you know how deep this pain can go. How much it.
Anyway, so you heard me talking to other people about veganism, like in a much more productive way than with you. Did you notice that?
I when I when I was you're talking about when I was in the same BC as you?
Yeah, when I muted you and you stayed, like you noticed that it's possible to have a conversation with vegans and with other people without,
Yeah.
like a productive
I was
actually.
in like
Hmm.
I was in DMs like with multiple of them, and
Hmm.
I say this respectfully, like both of them thought like you were very vague, and like they also thought the conversation was unproductive. Like
Okay.
Eleftherios or whatever his name was. He had like the hoodie anime profile picture.
Okay. I mean, fine. I mean,
He said I can tell he's not answering anything,
he
and
can
then he
tell
said
that.
he's so lost.
That's fine.
He said, "Yeah, I don't know if he's coming to the revelation that he's a subjectivist. He's very confused."
That I'm a what? Activist?
Subjectivist.
Subjectivist? Look, it doesn't matter. Like they can speak their mind. I didn't stop anyone from speaking their minds.
Oh, did stop me from.
I stopped you because you don't let me speak. That's the only reason. And you're being, you attacked me, and I didn't want to muddy the water in a room where I want to have a discussion. I actually want to have a discussion. I'm not interested in winning. I don't play chess. My debates are not to play chess. I hate playing chess.
Well, I mean,
For me, a debate is not a
my
game.
object, my object to going into a debate isn't to win either. I want to find out if I'm correct, or if there's a proposition that I'm like wrong on. That's what
Whatever.
I classify like winning as,
I'm
or
not
convincing your opponent of the debate
right.
proposition.
So my purpose is to change my mind. Like what's his name? The Canadian comedian. He says X change. Like here's my proposition. Change my mind. That's it. That's a good day. That's a good debate. Like if I had my mind changed, that's a good day. That's it.
Yeah, but I guess I was just saying like I don't think the conversations in that chat were any more productive than the conversation you had with me.
But what do you mean? I mean, we were conversing. Like usually with most people, I am able to complete a lot of sentences, and with you, very few sentences I was able to complete.
Well, if that's how you qualify being being a productive conversation, then sure, by that metric, yes, they didn't interrupt you as much as I interrupted you, but that doesn't make them, any less confused about what you were saying. That's just a
I'm not.
different
I'm not.
metric that you qualify success.
I'm not in a debate for them. I'm in a debate for me. If they had a bad time, I'm sorry. That like they're adults, and even if they were children, they can tell me. The they can say that. Give me feedback. What can I do? Like if they told you and you didn't tell me, and I don't know what to do with that. Like that's basically meaningless. Like I had if I
No, all I'm saying is that if your success criteria is just being able to speak longer, well, then sure, then that conversation was more successful. If your
it's
success
not
criteria is like
it's not
being understood or
it's
like
not
having a productive conversation,
it's
then
not
I don't
no
think it was.
No. My success criteria is when I want to watch YouTube videos and my best choice is to rewatch my debates, that means that's success. If I'm sitting listening to my conversation with you and enjoying it as YouTube content, that's success.
Well,
So like I wa-
okay, well, that's just an interesting success criteria for a conversation. It doesn't necessarily even have to do with the conversation being productive or not, or you being understood or not. A video can be very entertaining without having either of those things.
okay, but that's to me that's success. Like I want like that's one parameter. Another parameter is that I'm having a good time. I'm learning. My purpose is to learn. As I'm speaking to someone, I want to learn. I can learn while I'm saying, I can learn while I'm hearing, through questions and answers. I'm
Okay.
growing.
Well, then I think by that criteria, I think my conversation is successful because you went from believing a certain proposition is true to believing a certain proposition is false.
I wouldn't say so. That's and it's
Well,
not
I mean, I can play the clip of the video. I mean, I asked you directly. I was like, do you think you've contradicted yourself here?
but
And then I was
the
like,
question is the
by
question
that criteria, is the
the question
proposition's definitely false? And you're like, yeah.
yeah, that's not interesting. The question is, did I learn something? Did I change my mind about something? Like, did I
Yeah,
grow?
you
Did
went
I
from believing a proposition as true to false.
uh n- not so clear. Like, it's
I mean,
possible.
if anything, you now know that salad is low in carbs.
Salad is low in carbs.
Yeah, you remember when you were saying that a salad was like high in carbs, and that's
No,
why you
no,
can't eat it?
that's not. No, no. Like, we're talking about, like, you could say about the first proposition that was like veganism is utter nonsense.
Yeah,
Look, the point is that, do I know what is veganism? Like, if you tell me that was what I explained to Dr. Avi for hours. The purpose of veganism is utter nonsense is to say that if you appoint me to represent veganism, to be the speaker, the spokesperson for veganism, for the veganism movement. The question is, can I do it? Do I know what veganism is? And the claim that veganism is utter nonsense is, I don't know what it is. I've heard Dr. Avi and Ask Yourself and Vegan Gates. I've heard many, many vegans, try to explain what veganism is. At this point, I don't know what veganism is.
yeah. I mean, the live is still up. I asked you for a direct quote on my definition of veganism. Do you understand it? And you said yes.
Okay.
And then I said, on that notion of those terms, is the original proposition true? And you said,
Okay, look, the question is, uh, so we can go back to that if you want.
I mean, you also said that
Mhm.
vegan games had the same definition, and then of course you can see that there was a contradiction there, saying you didn't understand it, and not saying that you do understand. So like, it's,
Right. I mean, look, my claim would be that no system is complete. So to claim that veganism is complete, basically you're saying veganism is complete, but no system is
hold up,
complete.
hold up.
Hmm.
Whether or not I made a certain claim
Hmm.
is irrelevant to the claim, to the fact that you said that you understood said claim, and you said that the original proposition was false. And you came in with that proposition, so I'd assume you would have believed the proposition you wanted to debate was true, which you said you believed it was true. And so you switched from believing a proposition was true to believing that it was false.
Well,
I have no
okay.
idea why you won't just say that like you changed your mind on that.
Well, I'm saying let's think it through. So, for
And why do we need
example,
to think it through? You already admitted to it while we were
so
on stream.
so what if I admitted to it? So what?
So what if you admit it? I mean, do you just say things that you don't believe? Is that like are you lying?
I mean, like, yeah, I mean, like the question is, look, the question is right now, what do I believe? The question is right
No,
now.
that's not the question. That's not the question I'm wondering. The
No,
question what
that's the
was did you
question.
change your mind and you changed from believing a proposition was true to a proposition was false?
Look, the question is right now. Right now, do I know what veganism is? That's the question.
So are you saying you understood what veganism was while we were on stream and then you went back to not understanding it and we talked?
No, I'm saying I don't look. I during a debate, during a conversation, I could say, okay, yeah, I understand. Like if I feel like it's a dead end of a conversation, and I don't.
Are you saying you were lying?
Am I saying I was lying? I wouldn't call it a lie.
Well, I asked you, do you understand the proposition? And then I said, so on this criteria of the
Mhm.
definition of veganism that I gave, the original proposition is false. You said yes.
Okay,
And then you
let's
said, and then
let's
you went on later to say that you had contradicted yourself by saying you
look.
didn't
The
understand vegan
point.
gains definition, and
Look,
saying I gave the same definition and saying that you understand it. So it wasn't like, oh, like I understand, I'm trying to move on to the next piece of the conversation. It was very crystal clear that you changed from believing a proposition was true to believing a proposition was false.
mhm. Okay, so again, I'm saying let's 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 talk about it right now. Do I now understand what veganism is? Do I know
Are
what
you saying, I mean, are you going to acknowledge what I said?
I don't know. I mean, what do you what,
I mean, if you want
what do
to
you
have
mean?
a
What do you mean?
conversation,
What do you mean?
you
Am
kind
I?
of have to engage with what the other
What's the
person is saying.
purpose?
You can't just like start
What's
off
the
on a completely new thing. Like
what's the
it's a back
purpose?
and forth.
What's the purpose of this? Are you going to acknowledge what I just said? What's your
Yeah,
purpose?
like you're just. It sounds like what's happening is I'm clearly laying out what happened, and then you're just like, oh well, I'm just gonna completely ignore what you just said, and I'm gonna say this other thing.
I'm not
That's not a
completely
conversation. I'm
ignoring.
just talking to a wall at that point that's just spewing.
I'm
That's just
not
saying stuff.
completely. I'm not completely ignoring. I'm saying let's test it, right? If I change my
Well,
mind.
there's nothing to test. You said on stream
Hmm.
that you contradicted yourself, and you also said that the original proposition is false.
Okay.
You
Whatever I said, it's recorded and available and not interesting.
oh yeah, actually have it clipped. I can pull it up right now.
And it's not interesting because the
Oh,
question
it's not
is
interesting.
no,
I
because the
think that's
question
very interesting.
then sit down and listen to it, in replay, for all eternity. If it's interesting, to me, it's not interesting. To me, the question is
You're not interested in whether you're contradicting yourself.
contradicting or contradicted.
You're not interested in whether you contradicted yourself.
No, I'm interested in right now having a discussion, like the discussion
Well,
of
yeah, it
yes.
would be you would be currently contradicting yourself if you're denying that you said that.
Okay, I don't care, and if you're going to continue wasting my time, then we're finished. So it's up to you. Do you want to talk?
What is there a proposition that you would like to debate? Because
No, there's no proposition. If you don't want to talk
okay,
freely,
cool.
what do you mean? Okay, cool. So you're leaving?
I'm not saying that I'm leaving. I'm fully capable of talking freely too.
Good. So
I mean, just the
let's
same thing as last time. You just have to engage with what I'm saying.
look. So if you want to have a conversation, then fantastic. If you're gonna continue misbehaving, like mistreating me, cutting me off, being mean spirited, calling me names, stuff like that, then I'm not interested.
I don't remember calling you a name.
Whatever. So
What name did I call you?
I don't remember. And if you're going to
Oh,
be,
okay.
and also if you're going to be, so if you're going to nitpick every word I'm saying, that's also I'm not interested in that.
Well, you keep just making false claims about me. It's like wild how you're saying like, oh, you can't like call me names and stuff. Like, well, I didn't.
Okay, look.
That's loaded.
All right, stop with the nitpicking. Like be a normal human.
Don't lie.
What?
Don't lie about me.
Oh, then don't be here. Like if you don't want to have a
If you
normal.
don't like another person lying about you, then don't be here. Instead of doing some self-reflection and saying, yeah, maybe I should be careful when I speak. Maybe I should try to be truthful about the claims that I make. Narcissistic behavior, dude.
Goodbye. Have a
Now, that was a name.
Okay, I don't care. Just leave. We're done. Goodbye. Have a great rest of your life. Please don't come back ever.
You too.
Bye. Jesus Christ. All right. Let's listen.
It fucking sucks. And
What I wanted to do is go to PNR. Let's see what we got. Oh. Hello, NKO or LinkKO.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Who are you?
I am. You can see my name. I'm usually referred to as Mr. Slave.
Can I just call you Mister?
Yeah.
Hey, Mister.
Yeah, you can call me Mister. Are you a vegan?
No,
Mm.
I'm not.
Do you believe in Jesus?
I'm more like anything can happen, and it's an exciting experiment that you'll get to know at the end of life.
Wait, what? You're experimenting with the rest of life?
No. I'm saying, I think it's like a fun experiment that you'll get to find out at the end of life. You're like, ooh, what's gonna happen next? Who was correct? I don't know. Guess we're gonna find out.
Wait, are you talking about veganism? Well, or God
No,
and Jesus?
death.
Oh, death.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, so you believe in
Other
God?
people? No, I mean, not in the same way. Like, I think that I play like a lot of like superstitious things, but I think it's like fun or interesting or to see how they change people's perspectives. But I don't. I feel like for specifically certain devotions of Christianity, like it limits me, so I don't.
So you don't believe in God?
It's not that I believe or don't believe. It's that I don't have a stake either way. It doesn't matter to me either way.
Really?
Yeah. That's just the best way to put it. I don't know how to say that. Sorry.
So you don't care?
Yeah, I don't care.
Okay. Interesting.
Are you okay?
I mean, am I okay? Yeah, I'm okay. I'm just do you have any position on anything? Or do you not care in general?
Oh,
Like
maybe some things, but I really don't. I like having explorative conversations. I don't like limiting myself to one particular belief. Like I like to adventure and see what it looks like and what it means for people to believe in something, and I like to explore the negative sides of that too, and like everything that comes with it.
Mm-hmm.
So I
So,
don't know. I guess
so you,
strongest belief is in ethics.
oh, you believe in ethics?
Yeah. But I come from hypnosis and NLP communities, which is a fascinating pseudoscience.
NLP?
Mm-hmm. Neurolinguistic programming, or otherwise known as something like natural language processing. That's another name for it.
Natural language processing?
Or neurolinguistic programming. Yeah, both of them are
Okay.
the same thing. They're just
So what is that? What do you do? Like, what do you believe? What do you do? What is that?
it's when you take certain effects of language. So you know how like when you speak, you use certain fluctuations on certain words or letters, or you might put a sentence together in a particular way, or you might use a particular word because it derives an effect,
Mm-hmm.
or like the list goes on, right?
Mm-hmm.
It is basically the idea that has persuasion when coming into a conversation and learning to navigate that and the suggestibility you have over other people when using language.
Like, can you give me an example?
I can give you a super duper tiny example, but like
Mm-hmm.
it won't. Like so, if I state an effect before an opinion, like we're sitting here in this call having a good time, right? You might be not actually like having the best time ever, but if you're at least neutral, it will
Mm-hmm.
pull you over to, well, I don't hate this, so yeah, this we're having an okay time. This is great. This is fine, you know. So it persuades you to one side or the other, right? You can see this in certain things like HR or in legal stuff, especially with children. You can see it in psychology. It's in marketing, a lot of marketing. Uh, let's see what else. Just stuff like that, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, but that's like so you learned this technique, whatever. What you call it?
Yeah. I come from the communities because I found them fascinating.
Really?
Because they're technically something we all do, anyways. But to do them consciously is to have actual control over other people's responses as well as your own. Because other people, they just kind of do things subconsciously. They like say things a certain way subconsciously, right? But when you have more intention behind it,
Mm-hmm.
you know exactly the way you phrased it and why you phrased it. And if people are angry, it's only saying something about them at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So it becomes fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
Hypnosis takes this to the same. It does the same thing, but it does it with sensory experiences on top of language. So it does both.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And this is like international?
International, I would say so. I have friends who are in, like, for example, Slovakia that do this as a profession.
As a
Uh,
profession?
yeah, yeah, as a profession. Um,
They do hypnosis.
No, they.
yeah,
Oh,
Oh,
really?
cool.
the person in Slovakia, yeah, they do hypnosis for
Hey,
companies
Luke.
and schools and stuff.
Cool.
Luke is a vegan.
Why do you hate veganism so much?
I mean, I mean, why do I hate them? You're a different vegan. Most vegans are terrible people. Just just terrible people.
That's a crazy generalization, but
Look.
I
I
mean,
don't think.
it doesn't make it false, right? Like, I mean, it's like
I think for
no.
a lot of
That
people, right, depending on their beliefs when it comes to food, it can affect how they eat, right? So, like, for example, I don't want to feel shame when I'm enjoying my time or giving myself nutrients or, like taking care of myself. So when somebody comes in and they say, "How dare you eat this Sour Patch Kid," even though Sour Patch Kids are vegan.
Are vegan. Yeah, they'll do that. They'll yell at you
Yeah.
that Sour Patch Kids are not vegan when they are, because they don't. It's like crazy.
Then
They shouldn't even know
it's
themselves.
upsetting,
I'll be back.
because it's
Okay.
it's like I don't even know about this world to begin with, and B, I don't care. Why are you screaming at me about a Sour Patch Kid being not vegan? Right? I think
It's
that's
just a
pretty
lack of
fair.
priorities. They just kind of make your individual responsibility that the animals are being killed, even though you're not killing the animals. You don't work in a farm. You don't work in a slaughterhouse. It's kind of ridiculous.
It's not that. I understand why they might come to that conclusion, but I also levy like second thoughts at them. Technically, like for example, I was born severely anemic, severely anemic. Like I bruise easy, I faint easy, I sleep 12 hours a day. I
Wow.
need iron.
In your beauty sleep,
Yeah, it's like if I don't get roughly about 12 hours, I don't wake up feeling not tired.
Yeah, refreshed. Yeah, you don't feel refreshed.
Yeah. Or and I don't think that's like one, but then they're like, okay, well, there's lots of iron in certain veggies, and they're right. There are a lot of iron in greens. However, not enough to actually help, or not it's too much to eat or to buy in order to have the right amounts. It's
You
way
just take a
simpler
multivitamin, right? Like, and then
to eat like certain things like meat. Multivitamins I can actually overdose because I was born this way, so it's a little bit different.
right.
And then I would say iron fishes are a good supplement. But
Sorry, I'm
I
back.
mean that's like
Good.
people actually have to know that.
Okay, Luke.
But then there's also like other questions too.
Wait, Inka,
like-
can I say something about the shame first?
Yes.
I
Oh
don't
yeah,
know if
go
you moved
for
on
it.
from that
Go
point.
for it. Yeah.
I don't think you should, as a vegan, I obviously think it's morally better to not eat animals if it's not necessary, but I wouldn't ever shame somebody for eating meat. Like, I don't look back on the times I eat meat, or if I do mess up as a vegan and have something that's not vegan on accident, I don't like shame myself. It's more like I just believe I have a moral obligation to do something, therefore I do it. I understand that other people have different ethical worldviews that don't include like these somewhat radical ideas about animal like morality or non-human animal morality. But yeah, I don't think you should feel shame. But I would also say if you do feel shame, there's something underlying that, like there's some sort of like truth in the idea that like you think it's wrong to eat animals, unless it's like just this external shame being put upon you.
Yeah, I was
Right.
gonna say, like, that's the one thing I would disagree on, because like a lot of people, what they really don't realize is that a lot of their emotions come from external circumstances that they can't help. Like there was like an experiment that I was watching the other day where a teacher gave half the room like these like words that were mixed up that you could unmix, and the other half unsolvable problems. And she goes, "Okay, guys, you're gonna have to unmix these words in the first half." And then she was like, "Raise your hand as soon as you get it done." And all of half the room started like, raising their hand one after the other, And these people started feeling shame, and it is not in their it's not in their beliefs or wheelhouse or I feel like a lot of emotions, when people don't understand where they come from or how they get there, they can get confused to be, well, do I actually feel this way about this food? Like, should I change my beliefs? And that pulls them down a rabbit hole, and then they end up recoiling backwards. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I could get that, but I would say normally in society, I don't think you would feel that shame around animals because most of society agrees on like the morality of eating animals. So like in most situations, unless you're literally in a room full of vegans or you only hang out in like vegan circles, you're not going to be pressured to like not eat meat. Like it's pretty normalized to eat meat. So, but I can understand how in some like circumstances like you could be shamed into not being vegan, even if you don't agree with the vegan like worldview.
Mm-hmm. But also, like, I can play to vegan side too, but I also can play to non-vegan side. Like, there are certain cultures that believe in like eating whole animals or eating all the food that they're given, you know, like or that for example, would you consider Wagyu steak unmoral?
What's a
Um,
Wagyu steak?
yeah, I don't know.
Wagyu steak is a Japanese steak where they quite literally, I'm not even joking, massage the cows and play classical music so then they have a higher fatty content.
So why is that immoral?
That's what I'm trying to like ask, like, because like
Well,
you're still eating an animal, right? But these animals are probably having a million times better life than they would ever have in the wild.
Than most humans.
yeah. So I would agree, like, yeah, that's better. Like, that's morally superior to the alternative of like a factory farming situation. But still, because it's not necessary to eat Wagyu beef to survive, I would think it's not morally justified.
Mm-mm.
But it's definitely better. Like if I could have the factory farming system we have now, or like an ethical farming system where animals feel no pain, I would choose the second one because I think that's a moral alternative. But the idea is of veganism that we don't have to have like less or more. We can have none because we don't. In most places or most developed nations in the world, people have the ability to eat a healthy vegan diet.
I agree. I do wish we had the ability to do that more often, though.
Yeah, it'd be
To
nice if
start
it
to
was like
do vegan.
cheaper but it's not that hard. And I probably eat more than most people just because I like lift and I'm a bigger person than the average person. And it's not unfeasible. Like it's not too hard to get my caloric intake every day and protein goals and vitamins and
I think
but
the reason that it's extremely difficult mentally, like, is like most people don't even really have the time at the current moment to even cook, right? Most of them have second jobs. Most of them are just trying to wake up, clean themselves, continue the next day, and maybe have some enjoyment in life. And so a lot of people find that in food as well, right? To constantly monitor
I don't
like
think
what is
I
in
don't
something,
no
or
I don't think
you know,
that's
it
I
could
don't
be a
think
lot.
I don't think that's the reason.
Oh no, this is what most people like, they'll complain about. They're like, I'm not gonna be looking at everything that I eat. Like, I just am grabbing something from the store. Like,
Yeah,
but if I go to like this
most
store, like I'm not gonna be a big
but most
no,
people
yeah.
most people are not vegan not because they don't have time to be vegan. It's because when you actually have a conversation with them, they're not convinced that it makes sense to be vegan.
No, I
yeah, I would
disagree with this because a lot of people are like they're willing. They have like just straight veggie foods all the time. They're willing to try foods all the time. They enjoy them. There's some that they might even prefer, right?
Yeah, but
But we like to have those at will is to you have to cook them, or you have to know
no, no,
exactly what foods have something in them,
no,
or you have to like
but vegan,
ask for foods to keep things out. It's a lot. That's a
but
lot of effort.
but vegan is like an ethical framework. It's not it's not just about the food. It's what you wear. It's clothes. It's other
yeah.
things. It's like
It
they
can
I
be,
will say
but it's not always.
in America at least, which has a very popular like meat culture, the average American eats around like 200 to 300 pounds of meat per year, which is like 40% more than um
okay.
the recommended dietary guidelines by like doctors. Um
Look, let me ask you a
which
question.
is estimated to around like 350 grams a day. So it's not like that people just I think people genuinely enjoy meat. And like I know people in my life, like my brother, he's convinced by the vegan like arguments, but it's just simply too inconvenient for him to be vegan. So I can
Yeah.
understand how there's like both people that you guys are talking about exist. And I think I don't know like what percentage of each, but they both exist.
Okay, Luke, let me ask you. A question. Do you believe if two people, one of them is eating, they're both eating eggs, but one of them is eating eggs from free range chickens that have 1 acre, and the other one is eating free range chicken that have 2 acres to free range in. It's like one, like let's say person A, person B. Person A is eating chickens that had a worse life, that are having a worse life than person B. So would you
Mhm.
say there's difference between person A and person B? Or because
Yeah,
they're
but
eating
it's
eggs?
like negligible, probably.
Oh, it's negligible. Okay.
Well, it's
What?
I wouldn't say negligible, but it's definitely not like a substantive difference to make one.
Okay.
Like
So
it's
let's say,
sure it's morally superior in my worldview, but
okay.
I don't think it's enough to like matter that much, right? I'm not going to judge these people
What if,
that
oh,
much differently, and I'm also not going to judge them if they're like. I don't judge people on what they eat usually. So
okay, what if one of them like has 1 acre, the chicken has 1 acre, and the other one, the chicken is in a cage? Then is there a difference between person A and person B? Person A is eating
well, if,
a cage chicken egg, and person B is eating a free range chicken egg. Then A and B are
yeah.
different.
So if person B is intentionally buying free range chicken eggs because they like want to they want to like buy from more ethical sources for
Right.
meat, then
Hmm.
sure, I think there's an ethical difference there. Yeah,
Hmm. So why don't vegans promote more ethical farming?
they do. Like I would be a large proponent of
What do you mean they do?
um
Like where
yeah.
could you
So they
show
fight
me?
for vegans fight for better conditions for factory farms all the
Vegans
time.
fight against all farming. They don't
Yeah,
distinguish
so that's the
between.
end goal, right?
But
But
vegans,
most vegans are realistic enough to be like, yeah, we know we're not going to abolish eating meat anytime soon. It's not going to be like a law that it's illegal to eat meat
no, the point is,
anytime soon.
no,
But we will
vegans,
we will fight towards better conditions for animals. Like we see this, like we see a
no,
lot of the vegan
no.
activism led to better conditions. Like now it's illegal in America in a lot of places to have caged eggs. Like you can't just lock chickens up in coops
But
in most
vegans,
places.
vegans fight against all farming, even the most
Okay, yeah, that's the end goal, but you can do two
like
things at
there's.
once.
What do you mean this is the end goal? But I'm saying vegans don't. I never heard that vegans distinguish between ethical
They
farming.
do.
I never heard.
They absolutely do.
I've never heard of vegans that make a distinction. What do you mean they
I
do?
think
Like there's no like
they
right there.
absolutely do.
Here, I'll
No,
find you. I'll
I've
give you an
I've
article.
debated vegans, and they no, it's like
When
like
you talk to the vegans who go out to eat, or they're like sometimes they're more willing. So I'll talk to like my ex's sister, and she'll be like, "Oh yeah, like it depends. Well, like where did you get the eggs from?" And I'll be like, "Oh, I got them from here. This is a label." And she'll be like, "Okay, I'm willing to eat these eggs. I'm willing to participate in this meal." Like like
no, but I'm saying
like
like there's no.
it's very
I'm saying there's no
just because
vegan.
the title
But I'm saying
just means a specific thing does not necessarily mean that everybody under that umbrella is like engaging in the most drastic version of this thing. They
Yeah.
like
So like,
I'm saying
sorry. Go ahead.
there's no
I don't want to
vegan
interrupt.
eggs. Like I would expect there to be vegan eggs and vegan
Well,
milk.
there
that
are vegan eggs.
There are
they're
vegan
technically
eggs,
there's
like
plant-based
eggs.
eggs. Yeah.
No, no,
Yeah.
no, 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 no. I mean chicken egg. Actually, actual chicken eggs that
Yeah, that's contradictory. You can't
no,
have vegan actual chicken eggs. It's literally contradictory to the definition of vegan, which means
no,
not consuming animal products.
no,
You
because
can't have animal products. You can't have a
no,
vegan animal product.
no. But let's say I have a
Or
It's
like
a
pet.
non
some
sequitur.
vegans some
No,
vegans that like for example don't like to wear like leather or whatever. They will go to thrift stores and buy repurposed leather because it's already out there, right?
Yeah,
And
I
then
do
that
that.
way it has like a second life. Like there's like several vegans who do all kinds of things to are because it's more ethical or less ethical to their belief system and what they believe veganism should stand for. Like it's not a one size fits all ever.
Yeah,
Okay.
so like when I buy dress shoes, I don't buy from manufacturers that actively like purchase from factory farms that get leather. I'll go to a thrift store and buy leather shoes that's repurposed because I'm not contributing to like an industry that's
1 second.
actively
So
exploiting
if
animals.
let's say I have a pet chicken that lays an egg every day, would you say that's a vegan egg?
See,
Wait, say that again?
because
I
First
have
I
a
of all,
know
your pet chicken shouldn't be laying eggs every day.
well,
That's not gonna
Yeah,
naturally.
that,
Chickens don't let hens don't lay eggs every day. The reason that those chickens lay eggs every day in factory farms is because they're injected with medicine like hormonal shots that will instigate
let's
their
assume
hormonal system.
let's assume I have a chicken that lays an egg. Let's assume for it's a hypothetical. I have a chicken that lays an egg every day. Would you say this egg is vegan?
no,
there's
because that would fall into the line of exploitation, animal exploitation.
Well, it's a pet chicken.
That's not
Mhm.
It's a
possible.
pet chicken.
I don't know if pet chickens would fall
So
under
how
that
well do you
because
take care? How well
because
do you take care of those pet chickens?
because some eggs, right, despite the fact that they come from chickens, right, they are not gonna be chicks, like
Right, it's a hen. I
Mm.
don't have a rooster, so I have a hen and it lays eggs. So are these
I'll be
eggs
back.
okay? Are these eggs vegan?
I mean, if you are not injecting it with hormones to
No,
make
it's a
it lay
pet.
eggs
It's
every
a
single day.
it's a pet chicken.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, if you're treating it like a pet and it happens to lay unfertilized eggs every once in a while and you eat those
Hmm.
like you eat the hen's period egg, an egg is essentially a hen's period.
Okay.
I would probably say that could be vegan, maybe. I don't know. I don't know if
I
other
would
vegans
say
would agree,
it's
but
definitely not vegan because where do you purchase where did you purchase that pet chicken from? And second of all, the chicken wants you to steal its eggs. And
Well,
so I would say it's ethical.
let's say let's
I would say
say
it's ethical,
let's say I,
ethical practice compared to those that they do in factory farms. I would say it's ethical, but it's definitely not vegan. It's not vegan.
well,
We
by
have those
definition, it's not
standards.
vegan.
wait.
Yeah.
Why is it not vegan?
Yeah, well, it's
Because
not because it comes from an animal,
So
and you
what?
yeah,
don't know.
So what?
I'm gonna send something into the side chat because I've been vegan for some time, and before that, I was uh, I was vegetarian for a really long time.
Hmm. But okay, but why is the egg of a pet chicken not vegan? I don't
because it's
understand.
okay. So vegan means not consuming animal products. An egg is an animal
Wait,
product.
but why?
Therefore,
Why
an
not?
egg cannot be vegan. It
Wait,
can be ethical.
wait,
It can be ethical
wait.
under a
Hold on.
vegan like
Wait,
framework probably, but it
no, no.
can't be a vegan
Wait.
thing.
Okay, so you're saying veganism is not to consume animal products. Why? What's the reason?
It's
What
in the
the fuck?
What?
that's what veganism is.
No, usually
Okay,
they say
you
veganism is like
Evil.
giving
Yeah,
yeah,
veganism
giving
is evil
there are
actually.
different
giving
there are
animal
different definitions
right. There's
of the
different
word vegan.
right. So like most people would say giving animals human rights. Okay, so my pet chicken.
No, that's not what it is.
I
Stop
I
it.
wouldn't
Let's
say
assume.
that's it. That's actually a pretty. I believe that view, but that's a pretty fringe portion of
Let's
what
assume.
generally people consider
Let's
vegan.
assume. Let's
Like most
assume.
Wait,
people
Let's
just
assume.
say it's just not eating animal
Fine,
products.
fine.
so most
Let's
onks, I just want to say human rights usually include shelter, healthcare, like things like that.
yes,
Do you
yes.
think
I have a pet
like
chicken. It lives with
So
me.
we need
It
to
has
deport
it's
all illegal birds.
yeah. Let's say I have a pet chicken and I treat it like like my best friend, and it lays an egg every day. Let's assume, and the egg is there. The chicken is busy eating. By the way, it doesn't matter. The chicken eats. It doesn't care for the egg. It lays the egg and walks away from it. So like the egg is either going to go to the garbage or I can eat it. So can I eat it or not? Well, if
From
yeah,
what I've learned about chickens, they eat their eggs to give themselves back some nutrients, and they get really weak if they don't like
well, let's say it
eat their eggs.
doesn't. Let's say it doesn't. It walks away.
Then if it
Assuming.
doesn't, then well, I mean, that isn't the case in real life. But say that was the case, then I don't think vegans would typically have a problem with that.
Wait, is it vegan or not? What do you mean to have a problem?
And your
Yeah,
hypothetical.
it would on my view of the term vegan,
Would you eat?
which is like extending rights to animals, that wouldn't be a rights violation.
So it's a vegan
But
egg.
that's not the case in real life.
Yeah, but it's a hypothetical. So, would you consider it a vegan egg?
You could call it a vegan egg, as
What
in
do you mean?
it adheres to the principle.
No, no,
Like,
no.
I would, I wouldn't.
There are indeed such thing as vegan eggs. They're made of
No, no, I'm saying
plant-based ingredients.
no, no.
So you
I'm saying
can't call them vegan eggs.
no, no. I'm saying the hypothetical that I gave. Would you call it a vegan egg? Yes or no?
I wouldn't. I
No,
wouldn't. I wouldn't
no,
call it a
no.
vegan egg. I wouldn't have a problem with someone calling it a vegan egg. It's just weird to call something vegan and then the item when it wasn't like made with the intention of being vegan. It'd be
Well,
like saying
but let's say
like a vegan mouse pad. Like, but vegans are
How are we
typically
on this
like mouse
topic for
pads are
so long?
typically
It's so
don't have animal
childish.
products. So it's just weird to add the label of vegan in front of it. Like vegan oat milk. Like what? Oat milk is already. Why are you calling it vegan? Oat milk doesn't have animal products in it, so it's just weird.
well, I would call it
Or oat milk
vegan.
doesn't have any exploitation.
Well, I would call it vegan if it falls under right. If it falls under the definition of vegan, so whatever the
Yeah, I'm just saying
definition.
it would be weird. It wouldn't be. I wouldn't have a problem with
Okay,
you calling it that. I
but
just say it'd be weird.
can I? What do you mean weird? Yes or no? Like, is it a vegan egg? Yes or no? Does it fall under the category, the definition of being vegan? Yes or no?
No,
Yeah,
no.
on
Like I said,
on the
no.
definition. Oh my god, on the definition of veganism that I gave, yes. On other definitions of veganism, like simply not consuming animal products, then no.
Okay, but we're going with
Yeah,
it
so
with
under the dietary definition of veganism, like not consuming animal products, it would not be under the dietary definition. But under like a philosophical understanding of veganism,
right.
it could be, I would say.
Yeah,
Right.
like
think
on
that's
my
what Alex is saying.
like I'm an ethical vegan, but like sometimes people will like make plant stuff or sorry, make like an animal based product like a cake or something. And they're not gonna like make another cake if I eat the product. So like I'm not contributing to supply and demand. And so like I'll eat it. I don't eat meat products. I'm a dietary vegan. Dietary vegetarian, but like an ethical vegan. So
Ooh.
like, it's just-
Okay, that's really cool for you.
Wait, so
Let's say
if I made a cake for the office, then you would eat it? Like if it has normal eggs?
yeah, if I don't see any reason for it to like contribute to supply and demand, if I ate it, then like I'd be fine with it.
Onyx,
Yeah,
can I ask you something?
That's
Sure.
cool.
What do you think about like I saw like a study. It says a lot of plants actually talk to each other. Why don't you think? Why don't you care about them? Like they also communicate. They also have like a life.
I care about things that are having a subjective experience, like as a person, and plants don't have a nervous system, so I don't
Yes,
think
they do.
They don't.
no.
plants have a nervous system.
Yeah, they feel pain. I don't care. I still eat them.
Oh
Though.
my
Yes,
god.
plants
So-
are sentient, but they're not
Can you
they don't have a
provide me with
subjective
literally
experience.
any source that says that plants have a nervous system? Because that's just going to be an empirical claim.
Pretty sure I saw it on like Facebook or something once.
Why do you need
That's
a
small.
nervous?
Let me check.
Why do you need a nervous
Just
system?
link it to me.
Why do you need a nervous system to feel pain?
Yeah, typically to feel pain, you have to have pain receptors, which are a part of your nervous system.
Yeah, I think I'd have some pain receptors to like recept some pain. Personally speaking.
Okay, I mean,
Like you can,
But
there's like conditions where
you're
humans
not
don't feel
answering
pain.
you're not
but-
answering the question. Why do you need a nervous system to feel pain?
You don't know, they might be feeling a lot of pain, but not the same one as us.
It's logically possible for a being to be able to feel pain
Mhm.
and not have a brain, but it's on
Mhm.
like my knowledge of like science. That's just that's not the case.
Yeah,
Like
I'm
things that
I'm talking
like
about your knowledge of
things that
science.
don't have brains aren't sentient.
Yeah,
So
I'm asking
Well,
about
we
your
know that
knowledge.
trees will.
No, I'm asking
We know
about your
that trees
knowledge.
will release.
I'm asking about your knowledge. So why do you need the brain to feel pain? Answer the question.
Oh my fucking god.
You don't need a brain to feel pain.
Well, explain. I mean, how is pain and brain related? Why would they
Hey,
be related?
Oh yeah, they
Onyx,
do cry.
Onyx, can I
Plants
ask you a
cry, you can
question?
search it up.
Wait, what?
Onyx, could I ask you a question?
Plants do cry
What's
when
the
they're
answer?
stressed.
Why do you need a brain to feel pain? Like if you have ever seen an amoeba, a
Okay, wait, you
single
do need
cell.
a brain to feel pain.
Okay, look, if I show
You
you,
do, you
a-
only need the central neural system.
how do you know?
Central neural
How
system,
do you
not the
know?
brain.
How do you know?
Because
I was
various
using it.
studies
I was
have
using it as
indicated that
shorthand, but sure, I'm more agnostic on like lobsters and stuff. But I
Oh,
put a precautionary principle on them.
you should need those.
No, but if you see a video of an amoeba like being murdered, you can see that the amoeba is in pain, and an amoeba doesn't have a nervous system. It's a single-celled
How do you
organism.
know that How do you know that it's in pain?
How do you know that it's not? I mean, that's my question. Like it looks like it's experiencing pain. It's behaving just like we would. Like how do you know that the amoeba is not experiencing pain? What's the answer?
If I mean, you could also code a robot to do the same thing.
Yeah, how do you know it's not answer the question. How do you know it's not experiencing pain? I'm
Because
waiting.
it doesn't have a brain, a nervous system,
Yeah, but
no,
if
that
I
means
if I show you an
I'm
amoeba,
sorry. Do you believe
no, answer the
single-celled
question.
organisms feel pain?
Answer the question. How do you
Yeah.
know a single-celled organism is not experiencing pain? Answer the question.
They don't have pain receptors.
Answer the question. How do you know an amoeba is not
That was
experiencing
not.
pain?
they
How do you
lack a
know?
nervous system
Okay, but you're
and
not
any
answering
like
the
Okay,
neural
well,
structure
who
to
said
process
who
pain
says you need
sensations.
the nervous system to feel pain? Who says that?
Scientists,
Okay,
I'm pretty
science
sure
does.
I'm
okay,
pretty sure that's the consensus.
okay. You're pretty sure?
Science
I
fucking
don't
says it.
care. I don't care. Okay, explain to me from first principles why you think an amoeba is
From
not
first,
experiencing pain.
Because it
what do you mean
doesn't.
from? What do you mean from first principles? Can you give an example of that?
No, explain to me why you think an amoeba is not experiencing
When you're
pain.
asking me to do something, I'd like you to provide me an example
If you
so I can do it.
can't, then you can't. It's too bad. So, can you explain to me why you think an amoeba is not experiencing pain?
Yeah, you said from first principles. I'm just asking you as an example of what that
If you
looks like.
don't
It
know
doesn't have
what
to be
I
on this
mean,
topic.
then you can keep
It
quiet.
first principles. It doesn't rely on any other assumption. That's basically all I was
Thank
asking.
you. Yeah.
Okay, well then no, I can't do that. I do have to assume like the laws of logic
You
and all
can
that shit.
assume
So
whatever
my
you
bad.
want and explain to me why you think an amoeba is not experiencing pain.
how do you know it's in pain? You act like
I
you talk
don't
like as
know.
if you know.
I don't know either way.
You don't
But
know, but you said it a while back that it's you can tell everybody will be able to tell that the amoeba would be was in pain. How did
yes.
you know?
Well, it looks like it. It looks like, when somebody
Well, it only looks like it. So how did
yes.
you know?
Okay,
I don't
with that
know.
evidence, I'll just say that to me it just doesn't look like amoebas are experiencing pain.
Yeah, giggling is not an argument. So how do you know?
No, I'm just reflecting your argument back at you. I just
Okay, but
used your
how do
same
you
evidence
know?
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
how do you
and
know a
criteria for
plant?
experience.
How do you know? Okay, look, giggling is not an argument, so please don't giggle. So,
I agree.
like,
I agree. It's not an argument. Can
then
you
don't,
manage to
then
form an argument
stop
It's not
with
giggling.
that
premises and a
funny.
conclusion?
Stop giggling. So the question is, like, how do you know plants are not experiencing pain? Right? Plants have
Stop policing
cells.
people.
Right? Plants are built out of cells. How do you know that each one of those cells is not like an amoeba experiencing what seems to be like pain? How do you know?
Yeah.
You know what, Mr. Slave? You need to read more scientific research
Okay, answer the
instead of
question.
going onto
Answer
Discord.
the
Don't
question.
don't try to search for answers this simplistic.
Answer the
These
question.
questions you ask.
Right? You don't have an
No,
answer.
why should I?
Because what do you
I
mean?
do.
You're
It's
a
just
vegan.
too complicated.
Look, you're a vegan, and your premise is that plants don't experience pain, but you don't know that.
How do I
No,
not
even
know?
e-
I
wait,
know
no.
for a fact they can't feel
Maybe
pain. They
maybe
don't
we're
have a
You
confused
know.
nervous
on
system.
like maybe
They
we're confused
don't
on
have
like
a
what
nervous
we even
system. That's
mean by
it.
pain. Maybe that's what's happening. Because what I take pain to be is like your nerves firing in your brain. Like that's what I consider pain to be. And plants don't have nerves. So I don't so like by
Why do
definition
you?
they're not feeling.
It's not by definition. I
Yeah,
mean,
wait. So wait, let's define pain. So pain is
what do you
a
mean? Let's define.
sensation you
What do you
get.
mean? Let's define pain. We're not defining.
You're the one who always asks what words mean, bro. Come on.
Look. But we're not talking about let's define pain. The question is it experiencing pain? Not let's
Yeah, so
define
to
pain.
experience
So
pain,
Yeah,
how
but
do
if
you
you're
know?
not if it's not clear what we mean when we say pain, then it's not
typically,
If
we're
it's
not gonna
not
know
clear,
what the
if it's
sentence
not
even
clear
means.
what you mean when you say pain, then you didn't say anything.
yeah.
And I don't
So
know. Then you're
definitionally,
Yeah, so we
pain
need to have a definition for pain.
fine.
pain is a
You brought.
sensation. Okay, wait. Pain is a sensation of uncomfortability or like suffering. I don't know, whatever you want to call it,
Fine.
through like your nervous system
Why
giving information to your brain, and
why
then your
do you
brain
need a nerve?
processing that.
Why?
Well,
Why do you
let me
need a
just ask
nervous
a
system?
question.
Why do you need a
I
nerve?
mean, yeah, exactly. That's a very
Because
good
it,
point.
A nervous system is just a method of transferring electrical signals. It's just a wire.
yeah, how would okay, so you can't process pain unless you have a nervous system.
Well, that's the
Not
processing, but that's not
necessarily.
the pain.
Not
You're
necessarily.
processing the
Not
pain, but that's
necessarily.
not the pain. The pain is one thing, and the processing is the other. But what is the pain?
Equivocation.
Right? So you don't know that an amoeba is not experiencing pain. You don't know.
Huh?
I mean, we know it's not experiencing pain in the same way animals do.
How do you know? How do you know? You don't
Because
know
animals
that.
experience pain through their nervous
You
system,
don't
given
know
the
that. You
information to their
don't
brain.
know that. You don't.
We
know
do
that.
know
Then
that.
explain to me.
We
Then
can test
explain.
this.
And then explain. Explain to me. Explain to me why you need a nervous system. Explain to me why you need a nervous system to experience pain.
I don't think it's like a necessary part of experiencing pain. But
Explain.
that's
Just saying I don't think is not an explanation. You have to explain. Explain to me why you need a nervous system to experience pain.
Explain to me what fucking deoxyribonucleic fucking acid is.
From
You
what I've
fucking
seen
shit.
here,
Let me just add this, guys. Let me just add it.
there's
So there is
no
So let me just please add so pain is a subjective way of feeling something, right? What you're referring to is something known as the nociceptive pain, which is only felt through the
yes.
nervous system.
No,
But
you just fucking don't believe that they're fucking sacred. Do
One-
you?
one-
Do
one
you believe
second,
that they're
one-
sacred? Do you
No,
believe that they're
one-
sacred?
That's fake.
No,
What
you
the
don't.
fuck are you
what
talking
when
about?
did we start
They're
talking
not
about
fucking
things being
sacred.
That's
sacred?
not
A fucking
true.
goddamn
That's
thing
not
with
true.
fucking eyeballs isn't fucking sacred. A fucking
Bro,
goddamn fucking
schizo.
blade of grass is not fucking sacred.
Schizo.
Yep.
They're not
You
coming
read
for
them.
you, bro. You're okay.
Can we mute this guy, please?
Tyler, you gotta take it easy. I'll unmute you, but you gotta take it easy, dude.
Don't unmute him. He's schizo now. He needs to
Also,
get off Discord.
Tyler,
Why
I'll
is
give you
the
one
word
more
Even-
chance, but be nice. Come on, don't
So
be rude.
I'll just finish up with this. So pain is divided into different form of. You can have emotional pain as well. Now, pain could be transferred, just like Mr. Slave said. It could be transferred in a very much
Oh my
different system
fucking god.
than a nervous system. For example, plants, they communicate through pheromones. We human beings do not communicate through pheromones. So the
Other
whole
animals
concept
do.
of pain, you cannot say they do not feel pain like we do, because pain is a very subjective. I do not feel pain like you do.
No, when we talk about pain, we're specifically talking about the like noxious stimuli
Physical
that's
pain.
transmitted through nerves.
What do you mean?
No, this is not
how do
only
you,
pain.
how
There
do
are
you
many
know?
forms of pain. There
Like,
are
You're
many
talking about
forms.
like
Luke,
There is
you're talking about
emotional
like
pain.
Luke, you
there is-
don't know. We don't
no
know.
emotional pain would be like emotional suffering. I don't think we would.
Look, the point is
classify
when
it
you see
as
an
I'm trying to
amoeba,
how does this relate to the proposition? How did we even get here? Like, how does this relate to the proposition?
We followed you. You brought up pain. You said it has to do with pain. You brought up pain.
What?
You brought up pain. Pain. You brought it up.
Yeah, but I mean, is this a premise in the argument veganism equals evil?
You brought up
No, somebody
pain.
asked what.
Your
Somebody,
veganism
no. This
depends.
started.
Yeah, but he
No,
said.
this started. No, that's
Okay.
not how this started by somebody asking, plants feel pain too. Why do you eat them?
Oh yeah, that was just a side question. That's not even relevant to the original
Yeah.
proposition. That wasn't even
What was the original proposition?
the original proposition is veganism equals evil.
Yeah.
Let me see. Wait, on
We should maybe change it to vegans are
I would
evil.
agree. I think veganism
Because
is evil. I agree.
They're stealing the plants from the animals.
Why do you think veganism is evil?
Because fucking Pythagoras was murdered. Well, he
I
was,
think they are a
executed.
dangerous cult.
So was some.
I
So is
think
Jesus.
it is a very privileged movement. You can. They have a lot of money, and that's why they can behave like.
You can be it's not that expensive to be vegan.
It's very expensive to be vegan if you look in a world. If you look in the whole world and not in Europe
That's
only.
what
or
a rich person would
Western
say.
world.
That was so funny.
Yeah, so do you realize that like a lot of veganism and vegan philosophy was started with Jainism and Jain monks, which I wouldn't say are privileged individuals.
They are very privileged monks. They are extremely privileged.
What is being privileged even? How does that refute any argument?
I'll tell you how. When human beings start being served stuff, they get very arrogant and they start devaluing things. And vegans are an extreme way of devaluing other human beings.
Wow,
Okay.
vegans
So,
value what?
What human do you? What section of humans do you think I undervalue?
I think you undervalue everyone else except the veganism movement.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think people's lives, even if they aren't vegan, are valuable.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I think you are just as valuable
I'm in a
as me.
relationship with someone who
Wait,
isn't
but
vegan, so like,
right, but you feel
Wait,
vegan.
it seems like you're just projecting. You're just projecting like the fact that you think we have
No.
moral superiority over you onto vegans, and that's why you hate vegans because you think they think they're morally superior.
No, I do not hate vegans.
Which is some way acknowledging that you are morally inferior.
No, I do not hate vegans. I do not hate them.
I hate vegans.
I mean, you're saying that we devalue other people.
Yes, yes, you do.
Yeah, and you're devaluing vegans.
What do you
by
mean
saying
when
you
you
hate
say
them.
we devalue them? Like we think it's
You.
I'll give
like
you an
we don't
example.
think
You
that-
feel.
Do you
You
we
think
don't
feel.
love them.
You feel you're better than us.
Oh, if
No,
that's all you mean,
no.
then sure. Then yes, I do think.
Wait,
So-
do you think in your worldview you're better than people who think murder is okay, like murdering humans? Do you think you're better than those people?
I don't judge.
Not
That's
necessarily.
the point.
Not necessarily.
I don't judge.
Okay, you're retarded.
Okay. But
No, I'm just gonna say, if you don't
that's
think that
not
you're
an
better
art-
than a person who's okay with
Luke,
murdering
that's
people,
not
they,
an
they
art-
don't judge moral actors. That's just not
Luke,
so.
that's not an
Do you think you're better than Hitler?
No.
Yeah.
No one is better than anyone else.
bro.
Okay, okay.
By what?
Well, he's an amoral egoist, so
I think that's
he
I think
is
that's
the
what
only
we're
thing that
that's
matters.
fine. We just have different values.
It is. The problem is this,
Exactly.
Onyx. The problem
We
is
just
this.
have different
Why
values.
even bother at all to be a good person? You can't.
I'll tell
Yeah,
you,
wait,
Onyx.
you are real.
You're
Do you
very
think you're better than
brainwashed
Hitler?
by
You are real?
American history, and you have this. For example, Hitler. You know nothing about Hitler. You know nothing about him.
Exactly.
Why would you assume that?
He's
I
a
know a lot about
painter. You know
Hitler.
he's a painter from
Right?
Austria.
This
and that
this may be my bias, but by this accent, I hope you're not to say something really anti-Semitic.
No,
Onyx,
but like
Onyx,
it's
I'm
okay.
gonna mute
just keep saying
you.
that you're
If
Jewish
you
as well.
warn Onyx, if you start
Wait, you are real. What
warning-
are you saying about my
No,
lack
I
of
don't
knowledge
like-
about Hitler?
oh,
Because I think I know
yeah,
a good amount about
It
him.
doesn't matter. Onyx, don't warn people. People, we have in America, we have something called, the First Amendment. We can say whatever we want. If you don't like it, you can leave.
Yeah, he can also say that you're probably going to say something anti-Semitic. That's also his First
fine.
Amendment right.
It's fine to say.
Wait,
people,
so you were real. What are you going to
We
say?
live in America.
Citing
we're
the First
allowed.
Amendment while server muting is hilarious.
Yeah, that's
Then
insane.
leave.
Wait, you were real. What were you going to say about Hitler?
No, I was talking to Onyx. Onyx was talking about Hitler, and then he felt the need to express that he is Jewish as well. I mean,
Okay, so
Well,
you are real.
okay.
You are real. Do you think
Okay.
you are better than Hitler?
I'm not Jewish. Who said what? I didn't say that.
It doesn't matter,
In what
Onyx.
aspect? What do you mean by better? Am I
You
better?
think you're a better
Exactly.
person?
Are you
What do you
better?
mean by
Are
better?
you a better person than your brother, Luke? Do you have a
Do
brother?
you think you're a more moral person than Hitler?
By what
In what
metric?
aspect morality?
Exactly.
In what aspect?
In
Very
like
similar.
the
What
aspect
is
of
the
not
moral?
wanting to.
What is the moral framework we're
Exactly.
comparing to?
Exactly.
Yeah, when it comes to causing less suffering of human beings, do you think you're a more moral
I do not
person?
follow that moral framework. I'm
Exactly.
sorry.
What's your moral framework?
I do not base morality upon suffering.
Exactly.
What's your
Very good.
moral framework then? Intentionality?
Adherence
No, it
to a
is not.
certain book.
Yeah,
Maybe?
exactly. I follow a book.
Okay, well, do you think Hitler adhered to your book at the exact same rate as which you adhere to your book?
No, I do not think so.
Okay, so
Okay.
on that metric, then you are better than Hitler.
Okay,
No,
but
I would not classify myself as better, but
Okay.
I would. I would. I am not the judge of who is moral and not moral. That is up to God.
that's good.
Okay, do you think God would think that you're more moral
No,
or
I cannot-
Hitler?
I mean, this is you're trying to bypassing me making judgments by saying, "Do you think?" I do not think. I do not know. I do not answer such questions.
Good.
Okay, so you
Excellent.
just have like
Okay.
zero thought about morality then. Like
Exactly.
No, I do not. I do not. I follow my own morality, but I do not judge others. I don't think it's necessary.
Good.
Okay.
This is not.
so you
for
have a
me.
moral framework that
I
you
am not
require
a judge.
nobody else to adhere to.
Sorry.
And yet he
You have a
judges the
moral
vegans.
framework that you don't require anybody else to adhere to. So why does your moral framework matter?
My moral framework matters to me.
That's good.
I like how you said that's good. When you don't even think, one, can't make sense of the terms good, but also he's just stating subjectivism, which you agree with.
What is your moral framework?
Anyway,
Luke?
look,
Or-
there is no objective morality, so there's no way to determine if anyone is more or less moral than anyone else. It's not available. to
Okay, but
us.
people
Mhm.
in people's
I
worldviews,
don't care
they
about
have
I
moral
don't
frameworks
care.
and they
That's not
think
an
that they are
argument.
more moral than
Not an
other
ar-
people.
Not an argument. That's legit.
No, I'm just demonstrating how
that's a
vegans are
logical
not
fallacy. That's a logical.
vegans are not any
That's a
the vegans are
logical.
not any different than
It's
any
a
person who has any
logical-
other
okay,
moral
okay,
framework.
That's a logical fallacy to say people. I don't care in a debate what people do.
Can you name the logical fallacy?
I don't care what people. That's not.
Yeah, it's not a logical
in
fallacy.
a debate, you're trying to convince me, but you're trying to
It's
convince.
not a
me.
logical fallacy to
Hold
bring
on,
up other
Luke,
people in a debate.
Luke, let me answer. So in a debate, you're trying to convince me, right, to adhere, let's say, to the proposition, whatever. So you're not going to convince me by telling me that people believe something. I don't care. That's not an argument.
No,
You
I'm
need
arguing against your proposition that
Fine.
vegans are evil.
fine.
So I have
in
to bring
order-
up, I'm
right,
comparing
so in order,
the vegan worldview with every other worldview that
the
exists.
original
So you should just
proposition.
you should call every worldview evil. You should call
That's
Christians
the
are
point.
evil.
The original proposition.
Christianity equals evil.
Okay, Luke, hold on. The original proposition was veganism equals Nazism, but they demanded that we change the name of the room. So it's really veganism is as ethical as Nazism. So the question is am I better than Hitler? The answer is there is no way for me to compare. There's no way for me to compare if I'm better or worse than Hitler. I don't have that. That's not available. And telling me that people believe Hitler was terrible is meaningless. You're not going to convince me by what people say or do. I don't care. That's not a way to convince me. Does anyone have any questions?
What's going on here?
So do you like Hitler?
I personally don't like Hitler. I think he was a complete loser. But that's like economics. He was a socialist. He was a leftist. I hate leftists. I hate communists. They're idiots. They don't understand economics. I mean, Hitler was just an idiot. I mean, he would like. Do I hate idiots? I mean, I would say he didn't know better. I mean, he thought he's doing the best thing for humanity. He thought he's the greatest thing. He's a gift to humanity. He died believing in his nonsense. So,
Are you a Jewish?
what?
Are you a Jewish?
That it's completely irrelevant. Like we're having a discussion.
Oh, I got you.
I'm gonna mute you, so stop it. Anyway, does anyone have any questions?
Yeah, what's going on here?
So
What's going on?
we all agree veganism therefore is evil, meaning veganism is as ethical as any other ethical
Not
system,
under my semantics or
including what
systems.
we call evil ethical systems. Any questions?
No,
Not-
under most
not
people's
under-
ethical systems, veganism
I
would
don't
not
care.
be
That's not an
the same as
argument.
Nazism.
That's not an argument. Most people is not an argument. You need to convince me. What is your argument?
I mean, isn't it your proposition? Can you form the argument with, premises and a conclusion?
I just did.
wait,
Veganism
really?
Do you
is
think you made an
as
argument with premises and a conclusion?
I just
I
did.
mean, he gave you one argument.
Veganism
Okay, wait
is
then.
as ethical as Nazism.
That's just a claim.
That's just a conclusion. That's not where the premises go.
I mean, he gave you an argument. One of them was the moral paradox, right? The moral paradox of it being so you have these sentience, and there is a distinction.
Yeah, this doesn't
between...
sound like I've got like the argument for why veganism is the same like as Nazism.
No, but I am talking about evil right now, and evil equals Hitler, I guess. So
Yeah.
moral paradox number one, right? And then there, of course, is this.
Okay, if he wants to state the premises, I'm more than happy to write them down.
I mean, are we having a philosophy 101 discussion here, or are we just talking freely? What do
Yeah,
you
but-
guys want to do?
If he's unable
Yeah.
to make his own,
Why do we
then
need
we
why
can-
do we need
we
to
can write it out
formulate
for him
why do
to
we
help
need
him
to
with that.
formulate our arguments? Can't we talk like human beings?
because it sounds like we're getting quite confused like quite often. So
We're not.
ask
You're
me
confusing us.
questions.
You're confusing
Yeah,
us.
you can ask questions.
How are you gonna tell me that I'm not confused?
okay, I'm getting confused quite often because I don't really know what
I
like
think,
the
Ask me
idea of
you're the only
questions.
one. I think you're the only one.
Ask me. No, it's fine. Ask
No,
me
I
questions.
second that. He's not the only one.
Fine.
Okay,
Ask me questions.
two people.
What's the question? What don't you
I
understand?
was wondering if you had like an argument which we could work off.
What's the
of, like,
question?
because I'm still a bit.
The
an
answer is
argument
yes.
for
What's the
why
question?
Veganism...
Okay.
Okay, so could you
Build
give
argument,
the
yeah.
argument for?
That's not
why
a question.
veganism
What's the
is-
question?
What do you take a question?
That
to
is
be?
the question.
Question has a question mark. What's the question?
Okay, what do you take why is veganism the same as Nazism? Question mark.
Veganism
argument
is
for that.
as ethical. The name of the original name of the one is veganism is as ethical as Nazism. That's
You just restated the question.
Would you be able to?
Yeah,
would
I
you be able to
restated
give an argument
I
for this
restated the
question mark?
What?
I'll making a premise one.
Okay.
Veganism is based on the ethical principle that causing unnecessary harm.
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Whatever
to
it is,
sentient beings
it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Veganism is an ethical
is
system.
morally wrong.
Okay,
Do you
stop.
agree, guys?
No. Here, listen.
Let me just formulate this argument. He
But
wants an argument.
You can simplify. You don't need to go into what is veganism. Veganism is an ethical system. Nazism is an ethical
I'm just
system.
doing the premise.
Premise one, veganism is an ethical system. Premise two, Nazism is an ethical system.
No, go ahead.
Premise three,
Yeah, you have to demonstrate that.
Premise three, ethical systems are axiomatic.
Okay, and what's next?
And the conclusion is all
I'm gonna
ethical
take a guess as well,
systems
Okay.
are axiomatic. All ethical systems
This is so ridiculous that you want an argument like this, by the way, but whatever.
It's kind of necessary, but
I mean, go. Okay, I'll. Can I continue, Mr. Slade?
You can continue. I mean, but this is the direction. The direction is that Veganism is an ethical system. Ethical systems are axiomatic. Axioms cannot have ethical values. That's like premise one. Axioms don't have ethical values. Ethical systems are axiomatic. Veganism and Nazism are ethical systems. Therefore, veganism and Nazism don't have ethical values. Therefore, in terms of ethics, veganism is as ethical or as unethical as Nazism. There's no way to distinguish the ethical value of veganism and Nazism from each other. QED.
Wait.
Questions?
Just right now.
I also do want to clarify
Yes.
Nazism is not an ethical system. It's a
Onyx,
political ideology.
Well,
so
it's a premise.
Onyx, I have a question. If he's even
Does
here.
that have any relation?
Does
I
anyone have a
wanted to ask
question?
one.
So
Argument that's
everybody's
happening right now?
hold on. So everybody's good with veganism equals evil.
no.
Veganism is
No,
I just
Nazism.
wanted to ask
So
Onyx a
what? So
question.
ask me questions. We
no.
just proved it.
Probably happening.
No,
What's
I
probably
wanna
happening
ask.
right now is
I wanna
you
ask
laid out an
Onyx.
argument that's invalid, and he's trying to make it valid, and then we're going to discuss the premises.
Is anybody going to ask me questions, or do we all agree on the proposition?
No,
Did
we're
you
waiting.
not? Did you not even hear the words that came out of my mouth?
Do you have any
I
questions,
wanna ask
Onyx?
Onyx.
We're
Why
waiting
do
for
vegan-
Eleftherios to.
Why do you hate the
Right
vegans so
about.
much?
Because
they're
they
weak and
claim they
disgusting.
spread disinformation that as if they're better than anyone else.
No,
Wait, I
I
thought
hate
you
them
didn't
too.
hate.
I'm
I
just
thought you didn't hate
asking
people.
for
I
your
thought you
reason.
couldn't even make sense of that word. What happened?
No, it's really simple. It's
Enginehead.
because vegans are weak and disgusting.
Yeah, Engine Head, I could pick you upside down and like
Saying
do
that to this
curls
dude with his
you.
profile pic is crazy, dog.
I could pick you up and do curls with you and your wife at the
Wait,
same
Luke,
time.
hold on, Luke. How much do you weigh?
200 pounds.
Well, how tall are you?
Yeah, damn.
5'11".
Oh my god.
Yeah, damn, he's tiny.
And I bench more than anybody in this room. As
Yeah,
a
but you
vegan.
don't win a fight by benching. You win a fight by knowing
Yeah, I'm sure
how
I
to
could.
fight.
I'm
He
sure
just
I
doesn't
could.
have the right technique. That's what.
I'm sure I could win a fight too.
But you
Don't
could
worry.
just
No,
blast
you
him in
don't
his
know that.
face.
Wait,
The
did you
reality-
wrestle? Wait,
the
Luke, did
reality
you
is
wrestle in
that
high
they-
school?
I did.
Luke, what you didn't know
okay.
is that he studied Jujutsu Kaisen. He's going to launch a
Yeah,
Hollow
I
so
wrestled and played football in high school.
That's
Okay, so-
good.
the real reason why veganism ultimately destroys the body is because your cells have to undergo apoptosis far more quickly between the cycles because they're operating in effectively a glycolysis cycle rather than using ATP. And so this causes cellular damage over time. The other reason is the polyunsaturated fats are highly susceptible to oxidation. They're less chemically stable, so they undergo molecular breakdown over time. And because your brain and the fat cells that make up your internal organs and other parts of the body that are incredibly important will ultimately succumb to failure and they will collapse over time because they're susceptible to oxidation.
What he said.
Dude, hold on.
Okay, so does
Everybody
anyone
check
have
the
any
chat.
questions?
So
on
I mean,
the-
look, man, you might be an amateur bodybuilder and a bit of a meathead, but I've researched biophysics. So
Okay, stop.
you're not
Stop.
gonna be
Stop.
homeless.
Okay, stop.
I
Stop
have a
being
feeling this
offensive.
person
Okay,
does
we're
not have
we're
a-
not getting personal. We have a proof. Does anyone have any questions on the proof? It's in the side
How
chat.
much?
Don't worry.
The proof? Do you mean the argument?
Whatever. Does anybody have a question on the argument in the side chat?
Yeah, we're still. We're trying to make it valid because it's currently in its current form that you gave it. It's not valid.
Why is it not valid? What's
I
invalid?
think I got it valid, but soundness, I don't know. I don't even know what's axioms themselves have no inherent ethical value. Like, sure.
This conversation
I
getting
don't-
too much for me.
Why? Why is it too much?
I can't understand a word. It's too much big words.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Like, which word don't you understand? All ethical systems are based on axioms. Do you know what an axiom is?
No.
An axiom just is an assertion. That's like you.
That's not true.
Okay, what's your definition of an axiom?
It's not just
What's
an
your
assertion.
definition? Okay, fine. Give me the definition. What's your definition?
An axiom is going to be a type of assertion that you make without any evidence.
It's
Like
an
you just
assumption.
accept
Fine, fine,
it.
fine. Whatever.
Like,
An axiom is an assumption that cannot be falsified.
Fine. It's just an assumption. Let's simplify it for for the newbies. So an axiom is just an assumption. It's an assertion. There's no reason for an axiom. You start from that. You just either accept it or you don't accept it. We don't debate axioms.
yeah, for example, it's going to be something like murder is wrong.
Yeah.
Or like
whatever.
There are no true contradictions.
Exactly.
It's going to be stuff like that.
Exactly.
Now,
it's good. Okay.
Something that might not be an axiom is someone could say murder is wrong, but if they have a reason why murder is wrong, such as like my biblical book tells me that it's wrong, then it's not going to be an axiom.
Exactly.
It's like a reason.
Right. You're not allowed.
What is that?
Okay. So P1. P1 is premise 1. All ethical systems are based on axioms. Okay. Right. Proposition 2. Axioms themselves have no inherent ethical value. Okay, makes sense. They're just axioms. They're not reasonable. Then, right? Premise 3. Veganism is an ethical system. Okay. Premise 4. Nazism is an ethical system. Conclusion.
Do you think that those green guys who don't pollute, like they only use like electric vehicles and all that one, you think that they're evil as well?
Yeah, but they're pretty much. Okay, conclusion. Therefore, veganism and Nazism have equal moral or ethical worth insofar as they are both based on axioms without inherent ethical value. Yeah, pretty much. Any questions? Any objections?
Very strange.
Let me read. So you just read the one that's in the chat, right?
Yeah, the one that LF the Rios posted at 3:10 p.m. Well, for me, it's 3:10 p.m. I don't know what it shows up for you. Here, let me share my desktop. Engine had said axiom is a non-falsifiable assertion. Everyone has axioms.
Okay, I see it.
Okay. Real says P1 veganism is based on the ethical principle that causing. Is this from ChatGPT?
It does look like a ChatGPT response.
Yeah, please do not. Okay, I've been using AI for a while. Please do not use AI to form arguments.
Why?
AI is notoriously bad at propositional logic. Even the best one, like Claude, is still bad at propositional logic, and
This
it sucks
is
so
no
much.
AI. This is me.
You wrote all of this?
Okay.
Now? You're a fast typer.
Just to go.
Yeah, I don't. I'm skeptical of that, and also if this is your writing style, I'm questioning whether or not you're an NPC.
I mean, I already can tell that you didn't.
About the premises.
I wouldn't even sign off on writing this because, like, you're having words appear in the conclusion that didn't appear in the premises. So, like, it's already invalid. Like, word paradox.
I fixed it. I just said instead of like moral, I fixed it to say ethical. Whatever.
Oh, not. I was talking about the "you are reals" argument that got made, but not.
No. Anyway, but do you agree with Elef the Rios his thing?
This ain't my argument. What the hell?
He was trying to formulate your argument.
joking.
This guy. Read my argument, and please, any premises that you do not agree with, raise your opinion on it.
You are real. One step at a time.
I could go through and disagree with the premises, but it's invalid. So even if I agreed with all the premises, the conclusion would still not be clear that the conclusion.
Why?
Okay. Does anyone have any questions?
That's what validity means.
Oh my god. Does anyone have any questions on Elef the Rios argument? Yes or no?
Okay. Axioms themselves have no inherent value. But
the other problem with
what do we mean when we say inherent ethical value?
You can remove inherent if you want.
What do we mean when we say ethical value?
Look, as I told you, every system is incomplete. We can be here forever.
Well, I'm not going to ask you the definition of
Ethical
literally every
value.
single word in the sentence.
Ethical
If you think I'm going to
value.
do that, that's not
Ethical value showed up in premise 2.
Well, look, it's really simple. The reason why veganism is ultimately destructive to human health is because there's a
You're not
lot.
even talking
That's
about
not.
health right now.
That's not what we're
You're
engine.
not even
That's not
scratching.
what we're talking about. We're doing veganism is evil right now.
Oh, okay. Well, it's evil because it destroys human beings. There we
No.
go.
Okay. Okay.
That would actually be really easy to put in like premise and conclusion. Say
Okay.
anything that destroys human health is evil.
Okay. But
Veganism
that's not.
destroys human health.
That's
Therefore,
not.
veganism is evil.
Okay. We presented. Let's go with my
This man
argument.
gets
So let's see. Can we disprove my argument? That's the question. The way Elif the Rios presented it. So
Yeah, I
Well, I
think you
can't.
can have.
I can't disprove it until I'm clear on if I even disagree with it.
fine. So for now, you don't have any way to disprove it. So
Hold
like,
up.
what's the
I
question?
would say
I'm pretty sure.
I would say I'm
Pretty sure it's
agnostic on
valid.
it.
Fine. So
No
what's
sense
like?
of
What do you?
value.
What do you like? What's the question at this point? Like what? What
The
don't?
words ethical value. Okay, the question
Uh-huh.
is, what does the term ethical value mean here? Because the word ethical value can mean different things to lots of different people. For a utilitarian, it's going to be
Mhm.
like produces utility. For a deontologist, it's going to be like following some set of rules. So like I need you to specify what you
So
even mean here
what-
when you
le-
say
so does it matter? Like if you like replace
Yes.
ethical, fine. Then replace ethical value with your favorite definition and tell me if it makes sense. I don't know. Whatever ethical means to you.
Then I would say that no, P2, the axioms can have like inherent like ethical
Axioms
value.
can have inherent ethical value?
Yeah, I'd say like if I had like an axiom of like causing unnecessary suffering is wrong,
but
that's the ethical value and it's an axiom for like I don't know utilitarianism.
But an axiom is an assertion. An axiom.
Yeah, that's a moral assertion right there.
No, it cannot be anything. An axiom cannot be a moral assertion. An axiom is a perfect assertion. It's not
Like
moral.
if I gave
moral
like
gives it a reason. If you say moral, then that's already it has reason, and that's not allowed. That's not the definition of an axiom.
like if I formally gave like a I don't know axiom that uses deontic logic,
You
saying
can't
like
use
you ought
logic
do
in an
this.
axiom. You cannot use logic.
What?
An axiom doesn't have logic behind it. That's the point of an axiom. No, cannot.
What do you mean?
What he meant there was that he was giving an axiom that deontologists typically agree.
Fine, but you
Okay,
cannot.
so why doesn't that?
No, you cannot have you cannot use reason. If you have a reason for an axiom, then it's not an axiom. Then it has sub axioms. Tell us the sub axioms that bring forth that are the cause of what you right. That are the cause that right.
I mean,
Are you saying the proposition in of itself doesn't have any value? Like you're saying that
No, I'm
someone
saying
might
an
value
axiom.
utility, but the proposition itself
No,
doesn't like
an
make utility.
axiom.
Like
No, an axiom cannot have reason. You cannot reason an axiom, but that's the
no,
definition.
I understand that.
So that's it. So you cannot have a moral axiom. There's no such thing. You're defeating what an axiom is. An axiom is just an assertion that we accept. That's the foundation of our logical system or
I
ethical system.
would hold up. I think even if you have just because you don't have like an argument to back up the axiom because it's an axiom doesn't mean it can't be a moral axiom.
You cannot. The definition of an axiom is that it doesn't have a reason. If it had a reason, then you could disprove it. You could falsify it.
That doesn't engage with what I just said.
It's
That
not
doesn't engage with what I said.
falsifiable. If it's not falsifiable, you cannot. It cannot be anything. It's just an assertion.
I mean,
An assertion that I believe is true, and that doesn't even engage with what I said. You were saying that axiom can't be moral, like claims, like of course they can.
An axiom cannot be a moral claim. An axiom cannot be anything. An axiom is an assertion. It's a clean slate assertion. It cannot have any value.
Can you give me an example of an axiom?
reason. Like I would say,
Rene Descartes, do you exist?
Like, that's
Yeah,
a
so is
question. That's not. It's
I think therefore I am. Isn't it like
Yeah.
a ontological axiom?
Yep.
I think therefore I am. Yeah, that would be an
Yeah.
example of a
Like,
non-moral.
yeah,
Sure.
like similar.
don't they have
similarly, we
like
call that
a thing is it
ontological axiom.
like
No.
like
Actually,
a thing is itself like is the axiom of logic or something?
I actually
Yeah,
think therefore I am is probably not an axiom. Like I exist is probably the axiom, but
mean,
like
no,
I think
that was-
therefore I am is probably an argument.
Okay, I
That was
exist.
like
Yeah, you can go with I
Descartes' like whole
exist.
thing.
The universe
Descartes wanted to like
exists.
find like some like axiom to work off of, like that's like
The point
true,
is, it's
like a true axiom.
non-falsifiable.
That's
If
what
it's
he's trying to do.
non-falsifiable, then it cannot have any reason. If you're saying it's moral, okay, then that's falsifiable. You can, I can claim, well, it's immoral, like whatever, or
Like
I can
if I
I
called
can take away its foundation. Okay,
like
look.
if I called P and not P an axiom, that would be a logical axiom. Same way as if I say like harming others is, I don't know, wrong.
Bad.
Yeah,
that's
harm
a
is
moral
bad.
axiom.
Like
It's a foundational like moral principle.
murder.
Yeah, do you think that's an axiom?
Murder is bad.
Do you think that's an axiom?
What do you mean if I think?
Yeah.
You tell me. I mean,
Yeah. Okay, so if this like
your opinion.
axiom,
can you
if the axiom murder is
falsify
bad
it?
had no further.
If you
look,
cannot,
No, I agree that murder is bad as man.
then fine.
I wouldn't want to falsify that.
It's not.
But you
it's
said
not
that
want.
you said that axioms can't be moral. I'm like, of course they can. Like
No.
axioms on the
But
moral
how do you
point all the
judge?
time.
How
Like,
do you
that's-
judge? Okay, look, it's the foundation. You can't by what metric do you judge when you're doing the axiom? You're just building your foundation. You haven't built the metric yet by which to judge. Right, you're building
sounds
an
like you're getting something
you're building an
different.
ethical system. After within the building of the ethical system, you'll build a metric, a way to measure like ethical actions within your ethical system, so that you could say murder is bad, let's say. But at the stage of the axiom, you don't have a metric.
I didn't say that. I didn't say any of that.
So you can't say it's moral. So you cannot say that an axiom is moral. You don't have the tools yet.
Okay, so
that's my opinion.
When I say that an axiom is moral, all I mean is that the claim is on the modality of like morality. That's what mode I'm talking about.
But how do you
I'm not
measure?
talking about like
How do you
logical
know?
modality.
How do you measure? You didn't. You need a separate axiom for that.
How do I measure?
Yeah. How do you know that it's moral?
What are you asking? What are you asking me to measure here? Like whether it's on a certain modality or not?
Okay, fine. Look, I told you, I warned you that you can nitpick away any system forever. Every system will collapse under extreme.
Does anybody else in here think I'm nitpicking right now, or is this completely unclear?
I think this is trivial to me, so I don't.
Well, do you agree or disagree with the argument as presented by
I mean, it
Elif
sounded
the
a
Rios?
second ago that you're asking.
What?
Yeah, I disagree with the argument.
What do you disagree with?
And I disagree with premise 2, as I believe that axioms can be have ethical value.
Okay, so how do you measure the ethical
Can you
value?
prove it?
Wait, how do you measure it? Right, you're at the stage of the axiom.
No, it's
you're at the stage.
I could do something like this. If I value the axiom has ethical value.
If you value the axiom, then it's not an axiom. You cannot value an axiom. It has to be.
That's not what I mean.
Non-falsifiable. You cannot value it. It cannot have a value. It has to be a clean assertion. It has to be complete.
But I do value it.
Then it's not an axiom. Then that's not the foundation of your ethical system.
When I say I have a moral axiom, like I'm saying that this axiom is for the like moral system I'm making. That's why I call it a moral axiom.
No.
And like if you ask like, hey, in your system.
No,
okay,
that's
wait,
not
what's wrong with
that. No. That's not a.
What about what he just said? Did you disagree with that literal one sentence?
That's not we're building like in the process of building an ethical system. Your axiom is an axiom. It's not a moral axiom. It's an axiom. You don't.
Yeah, I'm not judging my axiom here. I'm just.
Then why do you say it's why? Why are you saying it's
Because
moral?
this is like the same way as I would say an axiom of logic is a logical axiom, is because the axiom is for the logical system.
Can you measure how ethical the axiom is? Can you measure it?
No, look,
No,
Mr. Slave. What's being pointed out is that the word moral in front of it is just like a modifier. Like if I could say that piano axioms, those are mathematical axioms, right? But there's also logical axioms. There could be moral axioms. That's all he's saying is that it's just describing what type of system this axiom functions in.
Yeah, and that
But
axiom would
how do you
have
know?
ethical value.
Okay,
Do you
fine.
think there can be mathematical axioms?
I would say that
think that's a question
when
for you.
you're building a mathematical system, you have axioms. No one says mathematical axiom semicolon blah blah blah. No one says mathematical. They say
Have you
axiom.
heard of piano? Have you heard of the piano axioms?
I'm going to mute you if you start with the piano nonsense.
I'm not talking about
It's
piano as the
literally a direct
instrument.
analogy to what
It's
we're
the
talking
name.
about.
It's not
This
the.
guy
It's
thinks
not an
you're talking
instrument.
about pianos.
Freeze. Last warning. Say piano one more time, you're muted. No piano.
I can. Does the
Piano.
Wicca? It's not the right. It's not the
Right,
same.
and what if I
piano,
call
it's-
them Dedekind piano axioms? Because
it's
it's
No,
named
you
after
can't
a
say
mathematician.
piano. Don't say piano.
Look inside chat. It's spelled.
That's a person's name.
It's not piano.
Okay,
it's
if
piano.
anyone says piano one more time, they're getting muted. No more piano.
Hello.
Okay,
I love
you see
pianos.
you see the P word inside chat. Look at the Wikipedia link. That's what he's on about.
That's
Yeah.
actually pretty funny.
Yeah.
That whole interaction was actually pretty funny.
It was not an interaction. Anyway, so does anyone look?
That was not
There's
an
a
interaction.
problem. There's
I
a
can see.
problem.
Moses, so much proprietary language, eh?
There- You're Canadian.
Okay,
Me?
look.
Yeah.
So premise 3 and 4 are like, I don't know, tautologies. So everyone's gonna agree with that. Like premise 1 is like, I don't know, kind of fine. And premise 2 is where everyone's gonna disagree if that's what you're asking.
Premise 2, everyone disagrees because
Yeah,
axioms
that is the
themselves
point of
have no
disagrees.
inherent ethical value. So,
Yeah, the
how
other
do you
premises are
measure?
fine.
Okay, so how do you measure the ethical value of an axiom?
You don't. There's no more like justification behind the axiom.
Yeah, but
So how do
Mr.
you
Slave believes that for a proposition has to be scientifically measurable, which
No,
is
no,
where
we're not.
everybody's
We're
going
not.
to disagree as well.
No. We're not going there right now. Right now, we're dealing with premise 2 that axioms themselves have no inherent ethical value. So, if you're claiming that an axiom has ethical value, I'm asking, how do you measure this value? By what do you measure
It's not
this
like
value?
it's not like we don't get what you're trying to say. Like we understand that you're trying to ask like how are we going to value this thing to be good, but that's not what we're trying to like get to. It's we're saying that this axiom is like defined by being
Category.
itself.
You're saying
that
you're
it's a moral axiom.
categorizing. You're saying it's of the category of being ethical.
Yeah. So when you say like axioms themselves, like sure, axioms like
How
don't
does it
inherently have
okay.
anything, but
Why do I care that
like
you want
this
to?
axiom
Okay,
does.
okay. Why do I care that you want to categorize an axiom? Right, an axiom. The fact that it's categorized as ethical doesn't mean that it has inherent ethical value. Like,
Okay, because like
Are
when
you saying I'm gonna like say we were talking about a utilitarian and they have the axiom of utility. Are you saying the axiom itself that caring about utility doesn't produce utility? Like
what?
I'm not sure what you're I'm still not clear on what P2 is even saying.
Okay.
Can you like replace the words ethical value with
Whose argument
the
is in the
definition of
side
ethical
chat?
value?
The P1. Whose argument is it?
That's mine.
The one I wrote is Mr. Slaves.
I'll paste it.
No, the giant one that has 6 premises.
I don't know. I think that's like
or
AI.
or nobody's engaging with that because like that.
No one
that
is. We're not engaging in that right now. Right now, we're doing the short one that I put a check mark on. I don't know how else. Well, what other emoji?
Can you
I'll put a
term
puppy
swap
on it.
with ethical value?
What?
Can you term swap ethical value? Like, can you just put the definition of what you mean?
I
Because that's
mean,
gonna make it just clear, abundantly clear what you're talking.
but it's what you can tell me. Well, like it's like these are words. You might as well ask me what the word no means. Can I like you can ask me to specify the definition of every word here. Have, themselves, like we're gonna be here forever, right? And literally
I'm not gonna do that though. I'm only asking you for the definition of one phrase.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rest of them,
Okay, so
like all the other premises.
if right now no one
it's
has
just
any,
this one.
if you don't have a question right now, then it's good enough for me. So
I do have a question. It's a
Bro,
very
what is this guy
straightforward
talking?
question.
no,
Can you term swap ethical
you
value?
don't. I don't feel that you have a question. That's not.
You don't actually have a question.
Oh,
so
actually, you know what? I don't feel that you have an argument either.
Too many problems, so much pain in my body, that tantalizing the body.
And why'd we mute that guy?
Mr. Finest, I'm gonna mute you if you continue making noise.
That's why I'm Ron's finest.
Axioms themselves have no inherent ethical value.
Hey guys, I'm sorry. It's just this guy's
Why
name
would
is
anyone
Young
agree
Boy.
with that?
I was singing Young Boy. That's why. My bad, though. I thought you knew Young Boy like that. But I get it. You're not really built like that, blood.
No, we
You're
know
a faker,
that. Don't
nigga.
worry.
I feel you, nigga. You didn't even know the song, nigga. You don't know shit about you.
Who said I didn't even know the song, bro? It said the Young Boy debate, not the Young Boy singing, bro.
The Maroon's
Come on,
Finest.
bro. You should know this.
If
Bro.
you want to join the debate, then just be nice.
Hey, unmute that guy though.
Unmute the Finest. Oh,
he was here to debate.
No, he's gonna stay muted for a bit. You guys can't
What
stop
a
saying the N word.
I was about to unmute him. He left. I don't think he was about
I
to
muted
start
him.
debating. Anyway, look. So I don't know what's like. If you want me to define ethical value, I don't know what to do. Like it's English.
Okay.
It's just
Maybe I could rephrase your proposition, and then you could tell me if it means the
You rephrased
since you're
it?
unwilling to just term swap it. Listen, maybe I could rephrase what you're saying and just you can tell me if it actually means the same thing.
You can try.
Okay. So
instead of
could I
ethical-
say premise two?
Premise two, okay. Mm-hmm.
Could I say premise two as people don't have positive views of their axiom?
No,
Or
axioms.
of any axiom.
Axioms are
Okay, so
clean.
that wouldn't mean the same.
Axioms are clean slates. Axioms cannot be judged. Axioms are non-falsifiable assertions. They're just assertions.
So then why do you keep asking him to assign a value? Sorry. Go on.
I'm trying to understand what premise two is saying. So it's not saying that people can't have like positive brain states or positive feelings towards an act. You can't. That's not what we're talking about when we say value.
Revolve in 1 second.
Theoretically, that's what we're saying. We're saying axioms are dumb. Axioms are purely mechanical. Axioms are, the bedrock of your system. They cannot move.
So it's not about positive brain states. Like that's not what you mean when you say value.
You cannot. It's non-falsifiable. If I admit that an axiom has a brain
Do you guys feel like he's answering my question?
Yeah, can you please stop playing whack-a-mole with the question, you coward?
This guy is literally clueless, bro. You'd be better off talking to Tyler Johnson philosophy.
What? Who's Tyler Johnson? You made this shit up.
You'd be better off getting answers from Tyler Johnson.
Mr. Slave, can I ask how many white keys and black keys are in the piano axioms?
You're muted.
37.
Freeze! I warned you. You gotta stop it.
You quit your piano shit, bro. What the hell?
Yeah.
How many keys do pianos have on average? Is it 24?
Okay, we're not talking about pianos. No pianos.
Yeah, we never were.
Freeze! Stop. We're not talking about piano.
Pianos are evil, dude.
I don't even think he
said Confucius, right? Or no, sorry, goddamn Tao Ching. Said the Tao Ching fisherman, right?
Anyway, what's the question? So everyone agrees vegans are evil?
You don't think that. Like I don't even know why you
how
keep
are
saying
vegans
that.
evil?
Wait, yeah.
Vegans. Well, we proved vegans are evil. What's the question?
Wait, actually,
Wait,
you know,
what's
you
gonna
know,
be
you know
argument?
what's, you know what's actually
Wait,
wild?
wait.
You know what's
Who's
actually
wait?
wild?
This
So
what
I
does
can
it
just
mean?
sign
Wait,
off
does,
on
does
this.
anyone does anyone think that
And just
vegans are better than Hitler? Who thinks here
hold
vegans
up,
are
no.
better than
The
Hitler?
original proposition is vegan is evil,
I
and
mean,
the conclusion doesn't say that.
No, the original
Hey, wait.
was
How would vegans not be? How would that entail anything? What's the relation there?
Exception.
so the
Sorry.
original name for
So I
the
cut you off
room
that last part.
was veganism is equals Nazism. That's the original name.
Jesus.
How is veganism equal Nazism?
That's the proof on the side. You tell me. Well, what's the question? There's the proof.
That isn't proof. It's not even
the
a valid
bottom.
syllogism. So
Yeah,
don't know
whatever.
what was
Okay,
going
so
on.
It's
hold
a
up.
schmillogism. It's a
I
piano.
have a question.
Go
Could I,
ahead.
could I replace veganism and Nazism in here? And this like,
Mm-hmm.
so like if I said premise 1, all ethical systems are based on axiom.
Mhm.
Premise 2, axioms themselves have no inherent ethical value.
Mhm.
Premise 3, being anti-murder is an ethical system. Premise 4, being pro-murder is an ethical system. Therefore, being pro-murder and anti-murder have equal moral worth insofar as they both are based on axioms without inherent ethical value. Would you agree with that argument?
Do you disagree with it?
Okay, on that basis alone, I'm rejecting premise.
What do you mean on that
Wait, so like
premise
the
alone?
reductio landed.
I'm
Even if
gonna
I
do
don't
that now.
know
When
it,
someone
I have-
questions my
so-
premise, I'm gonna ask, do you disagree with it?
So 1 second. So do you agree or disagree?
if I have to accept that.
What do you
being
mean?
a
If that's
pro-murder
not
and
that's not how
anti-murder-
logic works. You don't work backwards. You work forwards. Do you agree or where's the problem? Name the
Okay,
problem.
so
what line like do you disagree with?
Mr. Slave,
Yes.
you don't know propositional logic. You can't tell me how it works because you can't form an argument by yourself.
Onyx, I'm warning you. Don't talk about pianos.
Pianos? Wait, but like, why? Why not?
When did I name anything about pianos? Did anybody even hear me say that word?
I
But,
heard
like,
you
why-
saying piano.
Well, he's
Someone
not, right? I
please
mean,
say
vegans
it.
join the military, period.
Dog, did anybody else hear me say the word piano?
I heard
So like, you're okay with like Nazis, but not the word piano.
No, I think what Onyx was just trying to get at is like from this, would you just say that any system that's based on axioms is of equal moral worth?
Correct.
Like anything. It doesn't even matter if it's
Well-
even purporting to be about morality.
Well,
Like, just
yeah,
any
logic.
system
What do you mean do
based
I?
on axioms.
What do you mean do I? It's not me. It's logic. Logic dictates. You
He's
tell
asking
me.
about your
Does
Logic doesn't
listen. You wrote in, I think you or somebody wrote in chat an argument, and in that argument it subs in veganism and Nazism.
Yes.
The question is, could I sub in any system that is based on axioms and have this remain the same?
Not only that.
And he asked, do you disagree with that?
Not only that, but all systems are built on axioms. It's not only that systems that are built on axioms. All systems.
Right. So a conclusion from what you're saying is that every system is of equal moral worth.
Correct. That's
Right?
what you said. Wait, do you disagree?
I'm still not clear what ethical value means, but if you're defining ethical value in that way, then it's probably going to be something.
Ethical
really trivial.
value is when two people come together and they've known each other for a long time and they make children.
Maybe
It seems like from this, it
is
seems like he's
moral.
defining equal moral worth as based on axioms without inherent ethical value. So every system is of equal moral worth by this
That's just
argument.
going to be trivial. Then it's not even going to matter to me.
Yeah.
It's like,
Wait, what do you disagree with? Where's our disagreement in the syllogism?
It's not the point isn't that there's
Syllogism?
disagreement with
What the
it.
fuck was
point,
that?
The point is that it's trivial and uninformative.
Wait 1
It
second.
doesn't actually draw an equivalence.
Okay, one
that's
at a time.
relevant
One
to
at a
the
time.
discussion about.
Okay, freeze.
It doesn't draw.
Freeze. Wait.
for
Let,
example-
let Freeze speak his mind. Freeze. What do you disagree with in the syllogism?
It's not that there's anything to disagree with. It's that accepting it is trivial.
So you accept
It
it,
does.
right?
So I might agree with the argument, but like, yeah, it's trivial. So an example of this is someone
Fine.
might.
Then you agree.
The
then you
argument
agree.
just
Therefore, you
seems-
agree
it seems meaningful because-
veganism. Then you agree that
Just give me a second. Just give me a
veganism.
second. Give me a second. Let me finish, please. Okay. So it just seems meaningful because of the way you're using the words isn't how we typically use those words.
Which
so
one?
someone could say
Which word?
that murder is when
Which
murder is
word?
when you eat an almond.
Which word?
Give just let me finish. Okay, so you're not using inherent ethical value in the way some like a normal person would read this as you're saying that my preferences are that veganism is the same as Nazism. Like I would prefer someone to just as much be a vegan as them being a Nazi. Like that's how a normal person would read that sentence.
Okay. Which word?
But so like it's going to be trivial
Okay,
to like
what-
just define something. Like,
Okay,
just let me
then you-
finish. Oh my god. So, okay, let me make the point. Okay, someone could define like eating an almond as murder, and just say that Ephraim ate an almond, therefore Ephraim committed murder. And then they just go around saying Ephraim committed murder, and then they're like, okay, like
His name
really,
is
like he killed
Ephraim.
somebody? They'd be like, no, actually,
No one knows who
he ate an
Ephraim
almond.
is.
I'm like, okay, well, how
Your name is
how can you
Onyx.
disagree that Ephraim committed murder?
Your name is
he ate an almond.
Onyx.
I'm like, well, I guess I don't disagree, but that's just a really weird way of using the word.
Your name is Onyx. No one knows
Also,
who you're talking
also
about.
similarly, could you put two like conflicted, like could I say that according to this, Nazism and anti-Nazism are of equal
Oh
moral
no,
worth?
yeah, I did this. Like he's given me
Oh, you
this
did?
argument
Okay.
before, and I
Well,
just replaced them with like being
The
pro
question
pedophilia and
is,
anti-pedophilia.
do you disagree? That's the question. What do you disagree
No,
with? What's the
okay,
question?
What the disagreement is that your conclusion just generalizes to be saying that nothing is of moral.
Where's the
nothing
mistake?
is of inherent
Where's the
moral.
logical mistake? Point to the
Okay,
logical
I'm
mistake.
done with you, man.
There's no logical
This
mistake
guy,
in what you're saying.
this guy's a genius.
This is a troll.
He's
Wait.
cracked the code.
Wait.
He solved it all.
So everyone
He has a
agrees.
completely trivial, uninformative argument.
So
and he
everyone
thinks he's, like,
agrees.
patting
Everyone
himself on the
agrees.
back.
Everyone agrees. Veganism is evil.
No, not on my notion.
Okay, we proved
On your
it.
notions of the term, sure.
We proved it using the English
Wait,
language. Do you have any questions?
wait, hold on. Sorry. Okay, if the conclusion of your argument is that no system is of inherent moral value, how can you conclude that anything is evil?
Well, I mean,
I don't even know what you mean by evil.
that's English. You know, open a dictionary. So
You're not
it's
using
it's
you're not using standard
Using
English. You're using proprietary definitions. So how can
of
you
which word?
conclude? No,
Which
no,
word?
hold on. It's your turn.
Which
It's your
word?
turn.
Which word?
Evil.
Moral
worth.
What do you mean? Dictionary. English dictionary.
According to your argument, nothing is of moral worth.
What do you mean my
So how can
argument?
you
What in my argument do you disagree with?
listen to the words that are being said, please? You ready?
Just don't say piano.
Okay. According to your argument, the conclusion is no system that's based on axioms has inherent moral worth.
Correct. What's the question? What do you
You
disagree
are
with?
also right. Okay, so we've got correct on that. So please don't change that in a second. You're also saying that this particular system that's based on axioms is evil.
What do you mean? Which fine. I
Plant
mean,
still
What do you
paying.
mean? What do you mean? You just said that. What do
I
you
mean the name of
Tell me that you believe
of the room. The whole
the
thing
name
you're
of the
trying to
room,
argue
the
from.
original name of the
No,
room is
I don't care.
veganism.
I don't care. Yes, you already said this. I don't care. The point is you said,
Mm-hmm.
so we all agree that veganism is evil. And I'm saying that by your own argument,
So
nothing can be evil.
replace
Listen.
Nazism
Wait,
with
you
evil.
missed the important part. You missed the important part. By your own argument,
Mhm.
nothing can be evil.
By my own part, nothing can be evil? Why?
Yes.
Why?
Because no system that's based on axioms has any moral worth. They're all of equal
Pain is
moral
weakness
worth.
leaving the body.
Yeah, you could.
Pain is weakness.
All axiomatic systems are of equal moral worth, but you want to say that this particular one is evil.
Leaving the body.
You can't say both of those things.
Okay.
Let it also be known that he signed off on this proposition that I pasted in the chat.
Yeah,
Or sorry, this argument that I pasted.
Yeah, so you just say okay to that? What do you mean?
What do you mean?
I'm a white blood, by the way.
Veganism.
You're saying on the one hand, no system has inherent moral worth, and on the other hand, veganism is evil. How can you say both of these?
I mean, we don't have to say It's like, look, evil is a word in the English dictionary.
Ugh.
So as long as it's you could say
You
that.
might as well just be saying stuff like "we live in a society." Like, congratulations. What does that have to do with what I just said?
What do you disagree with? Right? Veganism equals evil.
I
What's the
just told you.
question?
Oh my god.
What's the question? Right? The conclusion: veganism
Uh,
equals evil. Right?
You
Everyone
heard
agrees.
the question. Look, if
the,
your
the,
only
the,
your
que- the
only
question is,
response
how can
is to
you
say that
also how can you
this is
believe the proposition veganism is
yeah.
as good as Nazism is false and
Yeah,
also
and do you
not
know what your
believe it?
answer? Do you know what your answer so far has been? Your answer is this is a word in the dictionary.
What do you
Is
disagree
a
with?
fire chaotic or does it stand still?
What do you
Does
disagree
a
with? What's
fire
the question?
does
So everyone agrees veganism is evil. Done.
well
If
then
your
every
argument
vegan
goes
would
through,
agree that
no,
life
hold
is
on, no,
evil.
it's very straightforward. If your argument goes through, then
Mhm.
veganism isn't evil because nothing is.
But the word right, the word evil
Just
is
think.
it
No, wait, don't
exists.
repeat yourself. Think for a second. It sounded like you almost thought a thought. Try to think a thought. You can do it. I believe in you. Maybe. I'm not sure why. Think a thought. You can do it.
Any questions? Does anyone have a question? Right? So evil.
Why has 1% of the world been vegan since antiquity?
Okay, Freeze, I'm gonna unmute you because I'll give you one more chance to behave. So you can say whatever you want, just be nice. Don't be mean. So evil is
Well,
a word
you know,
in
I think what you're doing is just like calm meanness because you're just not thinking and you're just repeating
okay.
yourself and ignoring what's being said to you.
If I met someone that like did this to me in real life, I would actually crash.
You would actually what?
like that would actually make me physically angry.
What do you mean? He's saying he's being mean to me. He's saying think. Like that's not a nice thing
Being
to
mean
say.
to me. Like you're like the narcissist who like says like, "What do you mean?" to like their wife when they're freaking gaslighting. That's like you're that guy. Like and just because you say it calmly, you think you're
Okay.
Yeah, like divide and conquer instead of embellish and eat relish
Anyway,
on
look,
duet.
look, Freeze and
Go it.
Onyx, stop being mean to me. So unless you have an actual question or where you disagree, then speak to the topic. Stop attacking me personally. All right, let's be nice to each other.
What's the update, guys? What
Can
happened?
something be evil? Can something be evil if it has no moral value?
Oh, yeah, yikes.
yeah.
Can something
So
be evil if it has
I
no?
actually do have a question.
No, hold
Oh,
on. Let
okay.
me answer. Let me answer. Look, Freeze, I'm trying to answer, and you're not letting me answer. So, look, evil is a word in the English dictionary. I personally, I don't believe in morality or ethics, but I do use the word evil. Usually, what I say is, if there is evil, then X is evil, even though I don't believe in evil. Like, right, the most evil person ever to exist is a vegan or Hitler, right? Who was a vegan, obviously. So, right, the worst person that we know of ever is Hitler. Now, was Hitler evil? Well, if
I'm sorry. What do you
Hitler,
mean when you say worst?
I
Well,
mean,
no.
let's assume.
Apparently, the worst person that we've ever heard of had a mustache. So having a mustache is evil.
Anyway, the point is that I don't believe in evil, if we use the English language, right? If like like even a chair. So I don't believe there is a chair, right? If we actually nitpick what is a chair, we lose a chair. We lose that word. Every word, if you nitpick it forever, it evaporates away.
You've already said
We're not
this.
even doing that. You could give
No
a
one's
very
doing
vague
that.
definition of evil. We're asking for
Oh,
anything at
I'm
all.
sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That's not that's not the argument. The
Wait,
point
you
is,
said it's a word in the English language, right? So what if you look it up in the dictionary?
yeah, you
Right?
can look it up. Look, the point is, but I don't believe in objective morality, and I don't even believe in
I
subjective
was asking you
I
that.
morality.
mean, vegans believe in putting down Rottweilers that are human arm cannibals.
Yeah. So evil, if I look it up in the English dictionary, means morally bad.
Shouldn't have said
Right?
that.
Right.
So
But I
so you're
don't.
saying on the one hand,
But I don't.
well, this is what you're saying. You're saying two statements at the same time. You're saying veganism is morally bad and veganism has no moral value.
Okay. Okay. Look,
Make
every
that make
system.
sense.
I can't. Look, ultimately, no system.
Oh,
Yeah, because
I
it doesn't. It's a
can't. There
contradiction.
you go. That's
Look,
the end of the discussion. I can't make that make sense. So your
look,
argument
every
fails.
system, right? At the end of the day, you can destroy every system by questioning it. You can question
This
it
is the
away.
really basic level of questioning. This is not incisive, like over the top level of questioning. It's saying you've made one argument that concludes no system has any moral value. No axiomatic system has any moral value.
Okay, do you disagree?
Veganism
But
is
do
an
you
axiomatic.
disagree?
Yeah, wait, listen. This
Do
is
you
what you said.
disagree?
This is what you said.
I don't disagree.
You're,
Do you disagree
no,
with anything I'm saying?
you're
Yeah,
contradicting
I do.
yourself.
I think you've made a direct
You're
contradiction.
straight up contradicting yourself, like in
Where's
a
the
very clear
contradiction?
way.
Where's the contradiction?
If we
Okay,
take sorry,
here's the
if we
contradiction.
take
Here's
okay. So if I gave you, if I
do.
told you
No.
that
P1, where P2? Are we at P2,
Okay,
P3? Which
P
is
oh, okay, so sorry.
P1, any axiomatic system has
No,
no
all
inherent
ethical
moral worth.
systems are based on axioms. No.
I'm giving you another. I'm giving you
No. I
an argument.
presented my
Except,
schmillogism. So do you have any question on my schmillogism?
listen. I'm giving you
No,
the
don't.
argument that
No.
your schmillogism
No.
destroys the possibility of saying.
It doesn't matter.
If you'd listen,
It
you might.
doesn't
If
matter.
you'd listen, you might. If you
It
would
doesn't
listen, you
matter.
might
But it doesn't
understand.
matter.
If
You
you would
said it
listen,
already.
you might understand. If you'd listen, you might understand.
You've already expressed it multiple times. Are you going to go through it again?
It sounds like you need it.
But fine, you say it again. Like waste your breath. I agreed with you.
Okay, then okay. No, if it's a waste of breath, then say it back to me.
This schmillimism creates paradoxes. Congratulations. All right. What do you disagree?
Not a paradox. You're
Okay,
straight up
a
contradicting
contradiction. Fine. So, what do you disagree with
It's
in the
Genesis
schmilli?
1:29.
1:29.
Genesis 1:29
Stop.
says that veganism is good. Okay, I'll never say that again. Yeah, Genesis 1:29 says that veganism is evil. Of course.
We already told you. We already told you that we don't disagree with the syllogism.
Okay.
We disagree with the Wait, hold on. You ready? We disagree with the conjunction of your syllogism and the statement veganism is evil. You can't say both of them. It's a contradiction.
Let me
to say
ask you.
both of
Okay,
those
let me ask you.
statements.
Veganism
You're
is.
not going to respond at all. You're going to say something different now, aren't you? You're just not going to respond to what I just said, are you?
Not a lesser harm.
Because the name of the room, the problem you have is the name of the room.
No, because at the end of our whole discussion, where you said that we agreed with your argument, you then said, "So, Raid, we all agree veganism is evil."
Okay.
That's okay. So let's. Okay, I'll
do you think that veganism's value is like when you say evil? Do you mean like its value is less than zero?
Okay, let's go. Let's retract. Let's retract. Veganism is evil. Let's go with veganism is as ethical as Nazism. Are we straight on that?
So are you conceding?
Yeah.
That,
So that's that. When you change it to that,
Mhm.
yeah. Sorry, are you conceding that veganism is not evil?
We'll come back to it.
Okay, so
wait,
then
why are you? Why are you?
Baby's
Why are
ass.
you?
No, do
Like
the
that's
flip
the
side.
contention. Why are you just?
Is
Lennox,
wifey the
just-
baby's
Lennox,
vagina
just do
a
the flip
violation?
side.
I've tried
No,
to
hold on.
discuss. I've
Hold on,
tried
do
to
the flip.
discuss. I've tried to discuss veganism is evil,
Lennox, we
and
just all you have to do. Okay, fine. All you have to do is ask the flip side. By your argument, Nazism isn't evil.
But is anything evil? Does evil have meaning?
Not according to you.
So, right. So you're bringing it back to me. So I'm explaining to you. It's a word in English that even though I don't believe in evil, but I still use that word. If anything,
Right. So what you're saying is that
yeah.
nothing has moral value, but I'm
Yes.
going to continue to use moral language.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. So then your argument is trivial. It doesn't tell us anything about the moral value of anything. It doesn't tell us
Okay, but
whether
that's
we
the
should
veganism.
oppose.
Okay.
Hold on. It doesn't tell you whether anything is right or wrong, whether anything should or shouldn't be.
Correct.
It doesn't tell you anything about any of that.
Correct.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it causes you to say weird things like affirming the proposition that pedophilia is good, or sorry, not good, has zero moral value, is equal to being anti-pedophilia.
What you could say is that pedophilia
But
is
you
as
need to
moral
argue.
as
Yeah,
charity.
like wiping
But
a
you need.
baby's crack.
That's what you're saying.
I could have said veganism equals pedophilia.
Wiping.
You need to argue
Yes,
why
the point
veganism
is-
is why you need to argue against the schmillogism.
But you know what else? No, because the point is that I could also say veganism equals heroism. Veganism equals democracy.
Yes. But you also have to say
So
veganism equals
so
pedophilia.
you don't think veganism is evil then?
Or good. He's just choosing an inflammatory
I do
contrast
think
case.
Exactly.
So it's not bad or good. Veganism is neutral.
Correct. It doesn't have an ethical value. So a vegan
Nothing
is
does.
the
Okay.
whole point.
So veganism isn't. So veganism is not evil. So you can see that.
So the point is that
So you should hold on just okay. You would
Well, you
change your
should
room
change the
name.
debate proposition.
Be consistent. You should change your room name to veganism is not evil.
But it's also true that veganism is evil. So I can say whatever I want.
No,
contradiction.
It's not. No, it's not also the same as that because one of them is assigning a moral value to it, and one of them isn't.
Wait, not evil? Is not assigning a moral value?
That's correct.
Okay.
Vegan.
Hold on. Is the Grand Canyon evil or not evil?
Bat. Cat.
Is
I
the
gotta
Grand
go, but
Canyon
pretty
evil
much
or
what you're
is it
saying is
not evil?
veganism is evil and veganism is not evil. You're directly saying
Oh
either.
my fucking god, it's veganism. I mean, some fucking goddamn vegan U.S. soldier.
I'm telling you, bro. We've been ignoring you the whole time. Please go to therapy. Like, I know you're deep in the far right.
Because the animal's more important than a human.
I know you freaking deep in like the biblical conspiracy.
It's
Go to therapy.
veganism because he's
Go outside.
obsessed with Street Fighter. He just wants to.
Yeah,
he
you're
wants
gonna
to
tell
play as
me.
Vega.
Okay,
Exactly
are
what
we?
it says.
So everyone agrees veganism
Hopefully
is
I'm
evil.
not here
Does anyone have any
tonight.
question about is veganism evil? Yes or no?
Are you
No, because
secretly
you
a
already
goldfish?
conceded that proposition's false.
How is it false?
Are you secretly a goldfish that learned how to use a computer?
How is it false?
He conceded the debate. I mean, we already
How
won.
did I concede the debate?
Yeah. Well,
Because
there's
you said veganism is not evil. You just
Onyx, the good thing is there's more than one person in this room, so I'm here to see exactly what you're seeing, despite this person's poorly thought out character. Like
It's all
this isn't even a good troll character.
recorded on YouTube. Everyone can see it.
I don't know why.
Really
I don't
sad for
even know
you,
why.
man.
Right. Yeah, like for the
I don't know
record,
why you would want the world to see this.
I wonder. Can I paste this here?
So, does anyone have any question? So we all agree
Okay.
veganism is evil.
Yeah. Last thing I want to say before I have to dip is if you go to the stream over here at 4607, I think, and watch it forward, you'll have him say that veganism is as good as Nazism is a false proposition.
What is your fucking stupid channel, Zach? This channel is currently mostly for debates. I love debating the foundation of logic, philosophy, math. You want to debate math and you've never heard of piano axioms?
I
foundations of math.
warned
And
you.
logic and doesn't understand how to build an argument. I got a dip. I'll see y'all.
All right.
Later, man.
All right, Peach.
So sex isn't the worst sin?
Well, this guy's funny.
Fucking goddamn wiping a baby's crack is the worst sin, not sex.
Okay, Tyler, stop.
Have fun.
Mr. Slave, do you have any hobbies? Do you play guitar? Do you
Yeah, this is a hobby.
go
exactly.
dancing? What are you up to?
We cannot discuss that.
Actually, never mind. I didn't have to dip. I thought I had a job interview at 3:30, but it's actually at 3. I'm sorry. I thought it was at 3, but
Very
it's actually at
practical
2.
ethics is evil.
Look, going back to the schmillogism. So, do you have any questions on the schmillogism? I don't care whatever contradictions it creates. That's your problem. You have to tell me why it's wrong.
No, it's your problem.
No, that's your problem.
But what do
Like,
you
you're creating the contradiction, not me.
What do you disagree with?
I disagree with contradictions being true.
See, no,
No.
Hitler wasn't a vegan, by the way.
Vegetarian, right?
Vegan.
Yeah.
He wouldn't be vegan by our definitions of being vegan. So like,
Also, apparently, even after he was a vegetarian,
Hitler,
he
if he
still
wasn't a
ate
vegan, bro.
pork and
Mr. Morality. What?
yeah, so
he was
by
he was
vegan, I
he was
mean
a nihilist?
extending human rights to animals. And
Or-
Hitler killed
Yeah.
humans. Like, I don't agree with killing.
There's a lot
I
of
don't agree
people.
with doing that.
There's a lot of people who are in favor of animal rights who are not vegan.
Anyway, so do you disagree with the schmillogism? Yes or no? Well, if you don't disagree with it, then I don't care. Whatever conclusion it derived from it, that's your problem as much as mine.
What's the difference between a syllogism and a schmillogism?
He wasn't a philosopher. Let's just say Mein Kampf wasn't a philosophy book.
I think schmillogism just means shitty syllogism.
A schmillogism
Or smelly-
is much
smelly
better
syllogism.
than it's the better version of the schmillomism. It's just an improved version. I always improve my versions.
Yeah, that you're absolutely right.
Anyway, so does anyone have any questions?
I can't believe there are 0 people watching your stream.
Don't say psilocybin. I mean, don't say syllogism. I mean,
I just
still
have two
Only
words to
0
explain it.
people? That's it? So few? So few?
don't.
It's very
I mean, forgive yourself for swiping the baby's crack. Okay.
Stop, Tyler. Stop it.
The amount of people watching your stream is equal to the moral worth of Nazism, according to you.
No, it says here that there's 0 people watching.
Exactly.
Okay.
Oh, you got it.
I had to go to your stream real quick just so I could put a dislike on it.
True. Good point.
Mr. Freeze Schmeech, do you disagree with anything in my schmillogism? Yes or no?
I'm concerned for your mental health at this point, and whether you are
that's the
secretly a
best.
goldfish.
That's the best you have. So, in other words,
Yeah,
we've
if you
already
have
decided the
forgotten,
debate.
if you've forgotten everything that led up to this, then like
what
for
do you,
real,
what do you
need some
disagree
feedback
with
on it.
in my schmillogism? What do you disagree with? What don't you like? What hurts your feelings? Your
I'm
fifis?
gonna go seek.
Man,
You're gonna go
you're
You don't
contradicting
believe
yourself
in
with
lesser evils. You just don't believe in lesser evils. You don't believe that there's a lesser evil. You think that life is.
Kind of.
You think that
Can we
life
interact
sucks.
with Tyler? Tyler, what's your deal, man? Who are you? What are you up to?
I have a feeling
I
this
am
person
Roanoke,
actually does
Virginia,
have an
and I'm going to the grocery store and I'm buying my $10 Snap vegan meal thanks to you and your services.
Oh
you
my
great American
God.
citizen.
Tyler.
You're welcome.
I noticed that your Gmail account is Tyler BJ67. Was Tyler BJ69 taken?
No, but Revelations was.
All right,
Okay.
Tyler. Thank you so much. Have a great time shopping. All right. So, any questions on the schmidges?
Mr. Slave, are you a South Park fan?
Not really. I mean, a little bit, sure. Who isn't?
Is your name a reference to South Park?
Indirectly. I didn't choose it.
What's the story there?
It's I was on Playing with Fire, and that's what he named me. So it stuck.
Oh, say that again. Sorry, I was
I
distracted.
was on Playing with Fire on his channel. I used to be a regular on his channel until he betrayed me.
Ah,
Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
Alex from Playing with Fire. It's you can search. You can.
Is this like a hyper niche corner of the internet?
It's
or
the.
is
It's
this,
part of
like,
the.
something I should know
It's the
about?
manosphere. He's like he teaches how to approach chicks, how to pick up chicks.
Yuck.
Are you gay?
No, I just think the manosphere is kind of bullshit. No, I'm married. I have 2 kids.
Awesome.
Yeah, I did it all without the manosphere with 2 older sisters. How did that ever happen?
Are you happy?
I was on,
Are you happily married?
yeah.
It's good. like
Pretty great.
yeah, like for some people it works out, life works out. Anyway, no, free speech. Like, come on, seriously, right? My schmillogism, it makes sense, right? You don't disagree with P1, 2, 3, 4, C, right?
Can I ask if you think that there's no morality, like what do you think we're up to when we use moral language?
It's like
Is it
every
like saying yay and boo, like where it's like murder, boo, like
it's a social
Nazism,
it's a social
boo?
it's a social construct. Like Nazism is bad because the Nazis lost the war. So we can say they're bad. I mean,
So
technically,
you don't think there's any way to appraise whether things would have been worse
correct.
if they had won? Like it's just
Correct.
why do you think that?
Because there's no objective morality. How can I judge
That's the
anyone?
conclusion. I'm asking why you think that.
What do I think? There's no objective morality?
Yes.
I have no access to any objective knowledge. All knowledge is subjective to me. It's between my ears. All I know of this
Okay.
universe
But
is
that's
my
not unique. But that's not unique in any way to morality, right?
right. I have no knowledge of objective anything.
Here,
Objective.
take a look in chat for a sec.
Okay.
Is this what you're saying? I'll put a little
Veganism
cartoon for
is
you.
evil and veganism is not
Cartoons
evil.
make things easy. Here you
I
go.
think vegans are.
Okay, well,
Oh wait, that's
clearly it's not a requirement to be perfect to be vegan. So, like, I don't understand the relevance
no.
of
I
even
mean,
saying that.
no. I mean, oops, sorry. Morality is subjective. I don't even think it's subjective. There is no morality. I'm amoral. Why do you think that? Different people have different views on it. So if yeah, I don't even believe that people have different views. People don't have views. People don't have morality. People
Yeah,
say,
why? So given that you on the one hand say that, and then on the other hand you point to the English language where there's
Mhm.
words like evil in the dictionary,
Mhm.
and you want to be able to use that language
Mhm.
to convey some kind of something. I don't know
Right.
what it is, a moral judgment or
Mhm.
a feeling.
Mhm.
Why is it that? What do you think moral language does in our
It's
kind of communications?
it's like all language. It's just conveying emotions. Like we used to grunt. Grunting evolved into language, but you can grunt and it conveys emotions.
So similarly, if I say 2 + 2 is 4, I'm grunting?
Yeah. And when I agree, I'm emotionally
So
satisfied. Like
why would I believe this? Instead of, for example, thinking, hey, maybe the world has a structure, and because we're embedded in the world,
yeah,
we are
yeah,
able to discern those
yeah,
structures
yeah, yeah, yeah. But
and then use language to describe them.
yeah,
And
yeah,
some things we describe
yeah,
are going to be the way the world is.
yeah, yeah. But still, it's between your ears.
Yeah.
Everything you said is between your ears. You have no access to anything outside of your experience. So that's all subjective. You don't know anything. What is outside of your ears, you don't know.
But you just told me a second ago that it's not subjective.
What do you mean?
I posted this little thing about how where it says morality is subjective, and you said it's not even subjective. It's just
Right.
like it's not even a thing that people have
Right.
subjective opinions about. It's just not a thing at all.
Right.
Do you
What's the
see
question?
any?
What do you mean? What's the question?
You don't see the tension between saying, I guess what you're saying is it's either objective or subjective
No,
or neither.
it's neither.
You kind of
It's
seem
false.
like you're saying it's neither.
I'm amoral. It's a false dichotomy. It's neither.
But yeah, but you're also a mathematical then, right? And you're like
Yes.
a scientific.
Yes.
You're a historical.
Yes. I'm a everything. Yes. True.
Okay, so then I'm not really understanding
I'm anti everything. I respect that.
not really
Not
understanding how you
anti.
would motivate, like, and what's the argument for why we should agree with you?
Look, so I mean, right? So let's go with mathematics, right? So
Piano.
stop. But let's
You're
go
bringing
with
it up.
1 + 1 = 2. So
Oh yikes! This is
yeah,
so much piano.
yeah. So right.
Hit me.
So what is 1?
Right in the collar this time, T baby.
Yeah.
Sorry, 1 - 1, sir.
So 1 + 1 = 2.
Love
At the
you,
end of the
brother.
day, is just what I consider to be a ritual. It's just a social construct. You might
It
as
is a
well do a
ritual.
rain dance when right when a mom goes through the ritual of indoctrinating her child with the 1 + 1 = 2 ritual. It's just
Is there anything to contrast indoctrination with? Like on the one hand, there's indoctrination. On the other hand, there's
truth.
Yeah.
What? Right,
But
what?
truth is just you've just been indoctrinated. That you're just mumbling ooga booga, and it sounds like the word truth.
Yeah.
Like why? So
I don't know
what
what
do
you
you
want
mean?
to say. I don't know where
How
you
is
go with this.
how is indoctrination different from truth?
There is no truth.
Isn't truth just a type of I just
There is
asked
no
you.
truth. Look,
You
at
have
the end of the day, it's
I just
even.
asked you to contrast. I just asked you to contrast indoctrination with something, and
Mhm.
you said truth.
Yeah, I don't know what do you mean by to contrast. I'm trying to I don't I'm trying to
I'm trying
indulge.
to figure out if, according to you, everything is indoctrination.
Yes.
Because again, when you say things like this,
Mhm.
what you're saying becomes trivial.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't think it's true. I think it's very deep. It has to
It
do with.
doesn't inform anyone about anything.
Oh,
Everything is
just the
indoctrination. Just means
just
everything is everything.
just the opposite. No. This
You
this is
saying that everything is indoctrination, it would be indoctrination, right?
look, right? You're a neural network, right? Your brain is a. Do you agree or disagree that your brain is just a neural network?
I don't know what those words mean when you say them because according to you,
No, let's step
I don't
out.
know. You're just going
Let's step
ooga
out.
booga.
No. Let's step out of this discussion. Let's have another discussion. So you agree that your brain is a neural
Sure.
network, right? So, right, and the way.
It's one thing that it is.
Excuse me.
That's one thing that it is. There's other ways to describe a brain, but sure,
So
that's an important part of it.
okay. What's another part? What's besides being a neural network? What else?
Oh, I guess I just mean like well, you could say it's the executive control center of the organism. You could say it's a physical object. You could say it's this much carbon and this much.
Fine.
But there's just a lot of ways to describe it. But sure, there's a neural
But
network in your brain.
in terms of your understanding of the universe, in terms of this discussion, in terms of your deepest understanding, in terms of what is math, what is one.
Look, here's MIT news. Study urges caution when comparing neural networks to the brain. Computing systems that appear to generate brain-like activity may be the result of researchers guiding them to specific outcomes. So I don't know, maybe I'm a little skeptical of whether your brain is a neural network.
Okay. So my opinion is that it's just a neural network, and a neural network, when it's born, theoretically all the weights are random, so it cannot discern any pattern, but then it's trained on patterns, but that's
So
basically
you just straight up think humans are just like wet robot large language modules?
exactly not even that. I mean that's even given.
That's a pretty strong position. I'm assuming you have arguments to support that or reasons to think that.
We can come back, sure, we can come back to it, but that's right, but that's the way I view
Sure.
it. So
I'm sure we'll come back to it.
So if we assume that, then we're just brainwashed,
Yes. Okay.
right?
So if I assume you're right, then you're right. Again, you're like master of making trivial statements. Like, if I assume you're right, then you're right.
So you believe in Jesus, in other words.
No.
You believe in God.
You're a cop.
Tyler, I'm gonna have to mute you. Stop with the nonsense. Yes, Mr. Free Speech. You believe in spirituality and stuff, right? You're not an atheist.
Not really. I'm an atheist.
Okay, but you're not a materialist.
Yeah, I'm a materialist.
Then I don't understand. Then okay, that's what I'm
What
saying. I'm
what don't you
saying
understand?
no. Then you agree with me. What do you mean I'm a trivialist? You agree with me on these conclusions on
There's nothing about being an atheistic materialist that commits you to the idea that brains are simply neural networks
So what
in the
are
same way that LLMs are.
not LLMs? LLMs are not are more than neural networks. The brain is simpler. The brain is just a neural network. But anyway,
And for example, have you heard of embodied cognition,
No.
4E cognition,
no,
as like a research paradigm in cognitive science?
no.
Okay, worth looking at. 4E cognition.
Okay, it doesn't
It
matter.
points out that many ways that you think about the brain has just simply taken the mind body problem and replaced it with the brain rest of the body problem, and that you still treat the brain as distinct from the body
Okay.
and as not part of the larger like organismic system in which it's embedded.
Okay, I don't know.
And whether computation is like the primary way to conceive of cognition
There's no
is also like
okay,
because
okay.
there's
I don't know what you're saying. I don't know.
non-representationalist views.
I don't know
Well,
what.
because you don't actually know anything about this topic.
Okay, stop. Look, the point
Okay,
is,
sure.
okay. So
The point is, I'm right, and if I assume you're right, you'll be right.
the point is that I presented a schmibbelism, and you don't disagree with it. You don't disagree with anything in my schlibbism, right?
Well, no, I spent a while trying to ask you other questions about your views on morality, and then you said, let's do this, switch to some weird analogy about neural networks. That didn't really go anywhere.
Fine. Do you disagree with my schlibbism or not? Do you
I don't know.
disagree with any of it?
Those are just mouth sounds. I don't know what that means.
Okay, life is kind of hard.
Sounds like it's really challenging for you. I'm sorry.
Look, when you attack the other guy, all that all that you're saying is that you have nothing better to say, right? That you've lost.
Oh, I'll tell you exactly what I'm doing. I'm suspicious that you're acting in bad faith.
Okay. So why are you
That's
here?
why I'm taking the occasional jab at you.
Then why are you here? Do you?
It was fun for a little bit. It's getting less fun now.
I'm gonna.
Because he doesn't need to complain like you. I mean, he doesn't need to threaten to mute someone for asking a question.
I'm not
Mr. Slave. I'm sorry, you're a slave too.
I don't mute for asking questions. I mute for like making noise or being
Or saying the word piano.
irrelevant. Like if you
Actually, I didn't even say the word. I just said the name.
if you like interrupt the conversation, then I have to mute you. Like if you're not being a part of the conversation, then that's it. That's the problem.
Something that it just bugs me when people don't exhibit intellectual curiosity and instead they exhibit like bizarre arrogance on topics that they're loosely familiar with.
Freeze peach.
You could have been like, what's a piano axiom? I've never heard of that. Instead, you're like, I'm going to mute you because you said the word piano. Or like, what's 4E cognition? Like, what do you mean? You don't think the brain's a neural network? You just assumed I was a Christian because I don't agree with that.
Okay.
Which is funny.
Freeze peach. If we're done, you can leave. It's okay. Like, I don't know what else to do. Like, you don't want to have a discussion, so leave.
I was trying pretty hard to have a discussion.
I was enjoying some of the discussion, but you believe that I'm bad faith, and then so I don't.
Well, because when we're like in the middle of a conversation, and then someone's like, whatever, all that. What do you think of my schmizism?
Okay.
I go like, oh, what is this?
Okay.
I thought we were kind of talking about.
Okay, I'll say the word syllogism.
Philosophy of mind, or
okay.
No, I don't care. The point is, at a certain point, when you get uncomfortable, you go like, what does any of this have to do with anything anyway? Do you even disagree with my syllogism?
Okay,
It's
let's be
serious.
Okay, do you want to have a serious conversation or not? It's up to you.
Sure,
but
we want to
okay,
talk about it.
okay. But I want to talk about my syllogism. Do you agree with it or not?
There's very little left to say about it. Honestly, this is why I'm saying you're acting in bad faith, because you know that I've spent a silly amount of time discussing it with you and telling you exactly my disagreements with it. And then if you say you don't disagree with it, then I'm saying, okay, well, I need to know more about what you think about morality in order to understand what you're saying and
Okay.
why you think there's no morals at all.
Wait, do you
But
think?
you also want to help yourself to the
Okay.
idea that the English language has moral features, like
Bro, free
saying calling
speech.
things
Do you,
evil.
free speech. Free speech. Do you actually know the
Yeah.
difference between redshift and blue shift energy?
Shorter and longer
Do you actually
wavelengths.
know the difference between redshift and blue shift energy? Free speech.
Tyler, it doesn't
There's
matter.
shorter and longer wavelengths.
I know nothing matters. You
I
nihilist.
probably don't. I don't think I know.
Okay, let's concentrate. Free speech. I didn't know that that's how you pronounce it. That's genius. Okay, free speech.
Thanks.
Let's talk. So, wait, but you're an atheist. You believe in what do you call it? In objective morality?
I'm not sure. I tend to be more in the pragmatist camp, which doesn't fit neatly in subjective or objective. But
Wait, so you're like me? No?
that doesn't mean I'm an amoralist. Like I know there's this philosopher. His name's Joel Marx, and he wrote a book on amorality, like arguing that morality doesn't exist, and that it's actually like it makes things like worse.
Why does it? I'm
So
amoral. Like for me, it's not worse.
you
Why
should.
do?
No, it's saying believing in. He argues that believing in morality and you continuing to use moral language
Mm-hmm.
is like we should stop doing that.
I agree. That's my
So
position.
you look at there's a article in Philosophy Now called an amoral manifesto. You should check it out.
Okay, I usually don't read. All right.
Well, that sucks. You should read. Reading is good. Use your
Okay.
use your brain. Use your neural network to.
The problem is that like I guess I don't feel that it's a productive use of my time to read.
That's an interesting thing to talk about. Why not?
I mean, I guess I could listen to an audiobook, but even those are usually boring. Like,
Yeah.
like
Well, the thing is, reading usually requires like sustained attention to like a lengthy
that's not
engagement with a
that's
single
not the problem.
topic. And like listening to an audiobook is a way of saying, I want to do that while I'm doing other things.
No,
Like I
no,
want to do the dishes, I want to clean up, I'm going to go for a drive, and I'll also do this other thing.
no, that's not the problem. The problem is not attention. The problem is that as soon as I started listening to an audiobook or read, I very quickly either completely agree that I've already come to this conclusion and it's a waste of time, or that I completely disagree and it's a waste of time to continue reading.
So
But
like you just literally defined confirmation bias, right? Things that I agree with, I have nothing more to learn about. Things that I disagree with are irrelevant because I disagree with them already.
think that I already know it would be a waste of time to listen to them, and think that I disagree, it's a waste of time to listen to them. Like I give it a shot in the beginning, but I don't want to waste time. Like I disagree, and I know they're going off in the wrong direction, so I don't want to waste my time. I don't want to listen to
I
someone
think
that I
that's wrong
know.
on I think that's wrong on both fronts. I think if you already agree with something, first of all, there's people who I'm sure you'll agree would agree with you, but have spent more time thinking about it and gathering evidence or arguments to support it. And you might learn something about your own position that you didn't know.
Maybe.
That's
Okay.
one.
Okay.
Two, if you disagree with it, maybe you just don't understand it well enough.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I mean, usually I just listen to YouTube, but lately, like, there's no news. So maybe on a slow news day,
That's a
I'm.
bummer though, man. Like I'm saying, like, why wouldn't you you have free access to more books than anyone in the history of the world. and you're just like, nah, not for me.
Yeah.
Even fiction, reading fiction is remarkably
That's the
valuable.
I can't watch movies. I can't read fiction. I find it so boring. Like immediately when I read fiction, I see the issues. Even historical fiction,
But
because
you don't even think there's a meaningful distinction between fiction and
no,
nonfiction.
no. But
What do you mean? History is just some like subjective, made up shit where we go ooga booga and think we're talking about something. Isn't it?
No. I'm a pragmatist. Like I live life pragmatically.
Oh,
So
don't say that. No, you don't know what that means.
So-
Or sorry, okay, sure, whatever. Fine, you're a pragmatist.
yeah, I'm a
Great.
pragmatist, like on a philosophical level.
No, not on a philosophical level.
Meaning, ultimately, we don't have
No,
access
please
to.
don't.
Ultimately, we don't have access to the truth, but
That's
we're
not
close enough. Like 1
that's
plus
not
1 equals 2
pragmatism.
is not true, but close enough.
Pragmatism in a philosophical sense isn't like, hey, whatever, man, it's useful. It's all good. That's pragmatism in a very colloquial sense, like in just a normal way of speaking.
So, look, I believe 1 plus 1 equals 2 is false, but when on a daily basis, it's true enough. What do you call that? That I accept truth enough is, close enough. Like I live my life close enough. Like, does it have a name? Practical?
There's probably a lot of names for views that lead to the conclusion that like truth tracking or approximations are valuable, and so yeah, I think there's a lot of views that would lead you to that.
Anyway, that's what I am. So it's not that I on a daily level, like in an absolute sense, 1 plus 1 equals 2 is false. But when I do a math problem, I assume
Yeah, so like what if someone had that thought, but then they spent like a long time thinking about it and reading the other people who've thought about it and making arguments back and forth, and then they like summarize that for you in a way where you might realize, oh shit, I never thought about a possible implication of that. I never thought that if I say that, that might mean that I'm saying that about everything, including history, including science, including
You lost
math,
me.
including all the things.
You lost me. What?
I'm still just trying to inquire about why you don't read. It's a fascinating
Because I
thing, because I think
disagree.
reading is
I disagree.
valuable,
I disagree with all the experts on everything.
except the ones that hold your positions, which you don't read because
There's
you
very
already
few.
agree.
There's very few of them, and then it's boring.
Do you think the goal of reading is to arrive at like a single statement that you either agree or disagree with?
But if I listen to someone and I disagree with them and I know they're wrong, I don't want to waste my time. What's the point?
Because they might say something that you agree with.
I don't want to waste my time with they might. Either like if I disagree and I know you're
That's what
wrong.
you're doing with me right now. You're doing exactly that thing that you're saying you don't want to do with me right now.
Well, no, but I'm not listening. I wouldn't listen to your video. I don't think you have.
Oh, is this the idea that like reading is so like it's so important that I would only do it under the most like serious situations? Like conversation,
No,
throw it
I
away.
wouldn't even
Who
listen to
cares?
your
I listen to
videos.
this.
Like if you created content, I
So
don't
you're
think.
just content to just completely reinforce your already held positions. All you want to do is hear more people saying what you agree with.
No, we can look at my history, my YouTube history, what I was
I'm only
ingesting.
going off what you say, man. I'm not accusing you of anything. I'm going off what you're
No. I'm
saying to me.
saying here, I'm gonna go through my YouTube history
Oh,
from
that's fine.
today.
If no, but what that means is that if you go through your YouTube history and it's full of you engaging with material you don't agree with, then you're not being accurate about your own views.
Like,
You do engage with material that you disagree with.
no. Like,
So then what were you going to show me in your YouTube history?
like lately, like today, I was listening to this guy who says Lex Friedman is compromised, and he explains how Lex Friedman is a Putin shill, which I completely agree with, and I enjoyed that.
Right. So you enjoyed having your views confirmed for you.
Yeah, I love that.
And hearing someone say what you already think, you
And the-
like hearing that
And I was
the things you
watching
already think.
here in another video. I was watching Professor Dave Explains making mockery of Tucker Carlson's creationism. It's so funny.
Yeah. And so like you already agreed with that, right?
Yeah, Professor Dave Explains is amazing. He's really funny when
Yeah.
he debates.
Yeah, I like his. I watch his stuff. I like his video on the final experiment was great.
Yeah, he's
And
amazing.
that flat Earth video.
He
great.
is
But like,
so
look,
he
hold on.
yeah, he
Why
doesn't
don't
pull his
you
punches.
seek out?
Mhm.
Why don't I can hear a certain like there's a reluctance to say like you won't just agree that you want to hear things you already agree with, and you won't put the time in to listen to things you disagree with.
But it's
I'm
not
not even talking about reading now. Now I've even just given up on the idea that you
No.
might read
No, no,
something. Now
no.
I'm curious if you even engage with things that you
No,
disagree with.
no. So let's say if there's a debate between Wilson and Smith, like when they debated whatever libertarianism.
Is that like Andrew Wilson?
Andrew Wilson, yeah, Andrew Wilson and whatever Smith from the Libertarian Party. So that I listened to, like I made I think a response.
Yeah, but you
video.
go in like rooting for your team. You go in being
I
like,
don't
my
have a
guy's gonna
team.
fuck that
I
other guy up.
disagree. I disagree with both.
Oh, okay. So you disagreed with two people who
Right.
were gonna have a discussion. Why did you watch that?
I wanted to because I mean
Learn?
because Wilson dismantled Smith correctly. So even though I disagree in general with Wilson, but in this case, sometimes he's a good debater. A lot of the times he's very
Okay.
bad faith.
Did you know that there are books where people debate, where like two scholars who disagree with each other will like argue back and forth in essays, like disagreeing with each other?
Anyway, look, let's get back. Fine. I don't want to waste too much time. Let's get back to my.
Well, this is all a waste of time. We're just chatting about shit. Like what time is not being wasted by talking about your schmilling and all.
All right, but the point is, it's really important. It's not a joke. I mean, I've invested by now so much time in this syllogism. So it's.
Well, I'll try to leave out how sad that makes me, but
I'm sorry. The point is that, right? My point is that there is no objective morality, and
yeah, but you're
vegans.
not actually saying why, and you're not thinking through the consequences of that, given your other views.
Wait, there's no objective morality because it's my
Yes.
opinion. The universe is my opinion. So how can I say anything
Well,
objective? How can I know?
Well, because then when I was trying to talk to you about how history is, you said, so then you said at some point, there's no point in reading fiction. And I said, that's an interesting position for you to hold, given that you think that all of these discourses, economics, history, law, science, math, you think they're all fiction.
No, they're all scientific.
Well, but they're not objective. What do you mean? They're not objective. They're just like, that's between your ears, man.
Yeah.
That's just like words you're uttering, going
but-
booga to other monkeys, right?
No, but look, when we deal with absolutes, then that's one thing. But then on a daily basis, I'm just a normal scientist. Everything I use science to figure the universe out. So I believe in science.
No, I know, but sorry. The point I'm making is that I'm sure that you've heard it repeated often, and you think you have a well thought out position by saying morality isn't objective. And I'm asking, just like that comic I posted, to distinguish why you think that about morality from why you don't think that about science. And then you said, no, I do think that about science, and I do think that about math, and I do think that about history, and I
Right.
do think that that's what you said.
Yeah.
Which another way of saying that is that just like morality is fictional, so is history, so is science, so is math. And if you don't like that, if you hear that and go, oof, I don't agree with that. That's not what I think. I don't think
No,
math
so-
and science
no.
and history are just like morality. I think they're different.
Right, they're different.
I'm asking, why do you think that?
No, so morality. Look, when people say morality, they mean objective morality, which I have no access to. But history is scientific. Physics and
You
math.
have no act. You have Okay, sorry, go on.
No, but that's fine because science is between
So it's
my
an
ears.
access question.
Science is between my ears. It's fine. Science is experiential, so that's fine. I'm not claiming that I was.
I don't know what that means.
Science, like history, is experiential. Like I'm not making a claim about some objective truth. Like objective morality.
Just why do you think that? You just keep repeating it, and I'm asking,
Wait, what?
why do you think that you can't make statements about
When I say
morality? Why
1 plus
can't
1, when I say 1 plus 1 equals 2, that's my experience. I'm allowed to say that. My experience
what?
is that 1 plus 1 equals 2. Right?
So when I say
Mhm.
that when that thief stole my laptop, that was wrong.
Mhm.
That's my experience.
That's fine. That's fine.
So
You're not lying.
how is it different from math?
No, it's the same. But when
Oh, man.
but objective morality, you're saying something
You not
about.
see you
Mhm.
you don't see how you're going back and forth? You just agreed with me that when I say 1 plus 1 is 2, and when I
Mhm.
say it was wrong for the thief to steal my laptop, then that's the same thing.
No,
You just said that.
let's start over. Sorry. Let's start over. So, it's my experience.
Why do you think there's no objective morality?
I don't have.
That's the question.
Because I cannot access knowledge of anything objective by definition. By definition,
Okay,
objective.
so then
Mhm.
okay. So then if by definition you can't access objective knowledge about anything, why are you singling out morality instead of saying there's no objective truths about math, there's no objective truths about history?
It's fine.
Like if
It's
I
fine.
say
It's fine.
that
It's fine. No, no.
Donald Trump was elected in 2016, you're saying
fine.
that's the same as saying 1 plus 1 is 2.
Okay, it's fine as long as you're aware of the fact that it's just my experience that Donald Trump was elected, that 1 plus 1 is 2, that the sun rises and stuff.
What is adding that? How do you? Okay, so given that you want to add that qualifier,
Mhm.
why is it? I still don't understand the difference between morality and mathematics or history or science.
Objective morality, the claim that there is an objective morality, that murder
It's
is
just
wrong.
like the claim that there is an objective history.
No.
Right?
If you're saying, look, if you're talking about a legal system, the legal system says murder is bad. If you murder, we'll execute you.
Well, no,
Okay?
it says murder is illegal. It wouldn't say murder is bad.
Fine, whatever. So, but right. So the legal system, I can scientifically confirm that it's true. It's fine.
What?
The legal system is true. That there
So-
exists a legal system that I can confirm scientifically.
What is that? What did the word scientifically mean there?
I can experience the legal system. I can go out to the street. I can test it. I can murder someone and be executed, and will verify that the legal system exists. But that's not true for the moral system. The moral system says that murdering is bad. Okay, if I murder someone, well, what's the test? There's no scientific test to measure morality.
Well, no, but the problem is that I can't tell if you're bringing up testing things or if you're bringing up whether they're in your experience.
How can I know? How can I know that there exists an objective morality? How can I test it? If I cannot test it, then for all intents and purposes, it doesn't exist.
Okay, but similarly, you understand you can't test whether 2 plus 2 is 4.
I can. Yes, I can.
No, you can't. You can apply these things to some aspects of your experience, and you can say, "Hey, there's 2 apples, and there's 2 apples, and
Good
now
enough.
if I count them all together, that's 4 apples."
Yeah, that's a test.
Right. So how is that different? How is that different from? Okay, fine. Okay, here's a Sam Harris level thought. If I throw acid on your face and you scream in pain, I think I just performed a test that says that it's bad to throw acid on your face.
No, unless you define bad.
Why not?
No, unless you define bad as like causing pain that is measurable. That's fine. You could do that. Sam Harris actually has that. That's fine. If you define morality scientifically, that's fine. But usually people.
So you could have an objective morality depending on whether it's been defined in such a way as to allow for testing.
Yeah, but that's not what people mean by morale. Like we could say that we, like scientifically, we have noticed a scientific phenomenon, a natural phenomenon of morality, that when humans get together, they behave as if murder is wrong, regardless of the legal system. Let's say the legal.
Yeah, and when humans get together, they behave as if 1 + 1 = 2.
But 1 + 1, yes.
They behave as
Yes.
if there's some
Yes,
historical
yes.
basis
Yes.
for
Okay. But
okay.
that's if we can formulate morality scientifically this way, as a natural phenomenon. But that's not what people talk about when they say morality. When people say
A
morality,
lot
they
of
say
people, a lot of the atheistic, materialistic that you were referencing, people who do believe in objective morality, do it precisely in the way that you're describing.
not. When I debate on Discord, people say, "Oh, you don't believe in objective morality? Oh my God, you're evil, you're terrible, you're the worst person
Well, yeah,
ever."
but you probably shouldn't form your thoughts based on what people on Discord say, right? You should
No,
spend
but
a little time looking into it for
no, but
yourself.
look. So when people look, objective morality is false. But is
You-
there
You're not telling me why. You're not giving any reasons. You're just
I
repeating
cannot
them.
measure it. How can I measure? How can I test? How can I experience objective morality? I cannot access objective morality? You know what? Even by just the
You're
fact that
asking these questions in malformed ways. Like
I don't
that.
understand. Why do you say that? What's malformed?
So when you say, "How can I experience objective morality?"
Mm-hmm.
You're kind of saying, "How can I subjectively access objective morality?"
Just
Right?
give me the test. What's the protocol to test for objective morality? How? What
What's the test for the square root of -1? How am I going? Where in the world will I find that? Where in the world will I find -3?
Well,
Even.
I mean, you
Like,
could have a number
how do I
line.
test that? Oh, so I can construct some kind of system.
When you say -3, what do you mean? Right? It could have a physical meaning, and we can construct an apparatus, and we can demonstrate things physically.
Or you'll be able to use metaphors to kind of make it a little easier to work
Fine,
with.
but
right?
but it has a physical meaning, and I can test it. Like 1 + 1 = 2 is always the simplest. I can test one. I can test that 1 + 1 is 2. I can test it. I can validate it. I can verify it physically.
It's just that you haven't engaged at all with philosophy of mathematics to say, like, what are numbers. I know that that's like a bit esoteric. It's not the most interesting topic. I don't know that much philosophy of math, but everything you're saying is like quite in conflict with the insights from philosophy of mathematics. That these, like, the idea that, like, I just see one thing and then I see another thing and then I add them together, like, it's
I'm thinking everything I do at the end of the day is in terms, like, I think about neural networks. Like, I'm just like, at the end of the day, my consciousness, it's the effect of a neural network.
yeah, I understand you. So, like, I guess what I'm trying to say is you hold a position
Mhm.
that is this is a defensible position. I'm not even trying to say that you're like crazy wrong. It's just that you haven't thought about this.
What do you mean?
Right?
About what?
Means you haven't read anything or watched anything to give you arguments for or against this view.
Which view?
The view, for example, that you just are a neural network, or the view that mathematics is the mathematical objects can be experienced,
My neural network.
or the view that there is no objective morality because I can't measure it.
What do you mean? I've been. I have countless of videos where I discuss this with people around, like, all the time for hundreds of hours. This is all I talk about. Like 1 + 1 = 2 is probably the title, like, the most repeating name in my list of videos is 1 + 1 = 2 ? Like I've thought about it so much. It really bothered me. Is 1 + 1 = 2 a true statement or not?
And then after that bugged you, what did you do? Did you go say like, "Oh, maybe I'll watch an intro lecture on like philosophy of mathematics. Oh, maybe I'll read an article about this."
I'm
What did you
satisfied
do after that bothered you?
because I'm satisfied. I told you, if I'm satisfied, I'm done. I don't need any further. Like I told you, I view it as like I'm training a neural network. As a neural network, what does it
Yeah,
mean
but you're
for?
training it to you're doing like reinforcement training where you're just like feeding it more of the predetermined outcome.
No. So
You're not
when a neural
learning, you're
no,
just
no,
reinforcing.
no. When a neural network is trained at 1 + 1 = 2, what does it mean? That's it. That's all I need to know. That right. So when I say I believe 1 + 1 = 2, all I mean is that I've experienced.
Here, look in chat. There's some intro lectures if you want. Could be interesting. Maybe not.
What this?
Philosophy overdose? Are they like Jesus?
No, philosophy overdose is just like a repository of like
Oh,
decades of
I
philosophical
have
lectures by
I have a like. I already liked it, so I probably watched it already. Let me see.
Oh, young boy, you've missed a lot.
The propositions of mathematics are necessary, and it seems that we can be more certain
trying
of
to find out
mathematical claims than a lot or
how
most
Mr.
or all
Slave goes about
claims
choosing
that we get through our senses
lead
about
off
the
of that and
world.
started
So that's already an issue that's on the table once you take this route. John Stuart Mill is one of the most famous proponents of the idea that you don't.
Then it's a waste of time. And if he disagrees with it, then it's a waste of time.
What are you guys talking about?
Oh, I have a comment.
Objectivity.
I already made a comment. It says, allow me to simplify this confusion. A number is a word in English. 1 is a word in English. I hope I answered all your questions. Let me know if there's anything further I can help you with. I quit probably at 1 minute and 3 seconds.
You watched a minute of that 35-minute lecture
I'm
and then
sorry.
commented like you had already solved it.
Somebody liked it. Yeah.
What is the debate about? What are you guys debating?
Right now, we're talking about Mr. Slave's intellectual proclivities. Whether he, why I was asking him whether he
Can
reads.
we talk about like an actual topic?
Well, you kind of just got here, man. Like we've been having a conversation for a couple hours. It's pretty.
Oh yeah, I know. So I joined in. I heard you guys talk. I went
and then said,
I
"Can we
got
just
some
entirely
fast
change the
food.
topic?" That's.
I mean, yeah. I mean, do you guys want to talk about like extremely specific, niche, useless stuff or like ours?
Well, no, he was saying that objective morality doesn't exist, and I was asking him why.
Oh yeah,
he
let's
thinks
talk
that.
about. That's
Yeah,
right.
and then wasn't hearing a lot of good reasons to think that wouldn't also kind of have like companions and guilt consequences where like all of these other disciplines like mathematics, science, history also become not objective. And he's kind of trying to say that like they're different in some way. And I'm trying to find out what that difference is. And it sounded like he was talking about whether it's testable. And I was trying to say that it's really weird to say that things like mathematics are testable in the same way that like a scientific experiment would be. And he seemed to be saying that he could just directly experience mathematical objects. Like,
oh, I see.
And I think that's a weird position to take. Like, I just experience 2 and addition and equals. Like, I just, and it's because I'm trying to find out how it is that he draws that line to say that there's no objective morality that doesn't indict all of these other things that he, and then sometimes he's saying he thinks they are all fictional and not objective. And he's kind of going back and forth.
I think he was trying to say something like we can test math via science, but I don't know if he said that he's wrong, but I don't know if he said that.
Yeah.
No, he's like, I can do 1 + 1 = 2, and that's like that exhausts his.
Oh, but I mean, regarding
mathematics.
objectivity of morality, I don't think morality is objective.
I agree. But math
Okay.
is
Why?
scientific.
So if you
Why?
want me to elaborate on why morality is not objective, so it seems like a lot of people disagree on morality, which is not a direct argument. Sorry, let me try again. It seems like morality is shifting from society to society over the years, and it seems like there is no objective basis for it. It's not like science where we are studying nature. We just making up moral rules for society, and those rules change as society changes. That's why I believe it's subjective.
Okay, so I would think that given the history of the sciences, that isn't actually a distinction there, because sciences have had radically different practices. People disagree.
Oh,
People
sure.
still disagree. There's so pointing out that people have not come to an agreement, and that people have different perspectives on it, and that people seem to be kind of making it up. That sounds like you're also
Yeah.
describing science.
Yeah, you're correct in that sense. The crucial distinction would be that science is studying actual natural existing phenomena, whereas morality is, well, there's nothing there's nothing objective being studied. It's not.
So that
it's
precise
not like
that
something that exists.
that is what's in dispute, though. Like the question is like why would
Oh
I
no,
think
I'm trying to
it's
say, as in, for example, in science, when you're studying Newtonian physics, we can look at how objects move and interact. But when it comes to morality, we're not really studying anything. We're just thinking.
why, right? But I could equally say that just like we examine these objects moving in a certain way, and then we describe them and we codify it, I look at people's practices and see that this and that is wrong, and oh, this is universally regarded as wrong. Oh, there's an exception here. Oh, just hey, that object also had an exception. Oh, it's because it was in a different atmospheric pressure. Like I don't actually see the difference between saying, like you're saying that morality has no proper subject matter that exists independently of us. And I'm saying,
Yeah, but
why do you think that?
I mean, your own example says that we look at people to study it, but what's in dispute is that it's not separate from humans, and we can't study it. Like we can't study outside of humans. So therefore, when you make any claims about morality, it's going to be subjective. It's going to be dependent on what the humans believe.
But that's like saying, no, it's about humans, or it's about living organisms. Like it doesn't like, so that's like saying anthropology
Actually,
can't be objective because
non-humans
it's humans.
Non-humans don't really have morality in the sense that we do.
Okay, fine. Then I was just saying that in case you wanted to expand the scope, but let's just say that, okay, fine, the subject matter is human behavior. So that's like saying anthropology is objective because it's about humans.
Right? I mean, humans change a lot. It's not like humans are not fixed. We can't say like this moral choice is always correct or always incorrect. We can only say something like, at the current time, a lot of people believe this. Why? Because
what if it's just really hard to discover it and we haven't done it yet?
Well, my explanation is, wait, I don't think you're grasping the explanation. The explanation is that since we're studying humans, which humans, I don't think humans have like a fixed nature. I think it changes depending on the society quite a lot. And morality is about studying human behavior and what kind of human behaviors are correct or wrong. I'm saying you can't do that without basing that on a given human society. For example, if I said something like killing babies is wrong, well, there are actually some societies where killing some children is good because they think those kind of children are bad, right?
So you could look at that and say, hey, here's the statement. Killing babies is wrong. Okay, here's a society that disagrees. Okay, does that mean, and here's two possible conclusions. One, killing babies is actually not wrong. Or two, they're wrong about killing babies.
No, I think the conclusion is whatever is right or wrong in a society depends on what that society believes in and what they want to achieve.
No, but I'm saying if I have an alternative interpretation, one that says yes, there are societies that disagree, and moral disagreement is persistent, and one society thinks this and one society thinks that, but that society is wrong. Like,
When you
like
can
for
say that.
example, I'll give you an example, right? I may think here's a society that thinks that when that person is writhing up and down and foaming at the mouth, they're having demonic possession. I think they're having an epileptic seizure. Right? They're wrong.
The thing in,
Okay, guys, I'm
Right?
leaving.
Would you agree that?
yeah,
See you later.
yeah. So they're wrong, right?
Oh my god. All right. Almost 4 hours is enough. That was actually interesting. So we started with them attacking me vociferously, as we say, and then they came over, at least this guy, free speech. He began realizing that actually I'm not such a bad guy, and we had a good constructive discussion for a couple of minutes. And then that guy came in, and now they're having, what seems to be a nice discussion, and I'm
Hey
already...
everybody, welcome back to my channel. I have some horrifying and very exciting news. Why are you filming Johnny when I'm...
I'm like looking there.
She has a very good laughter.
Hey everybody, today I have a special treat for you, a proper in-person debate video. I discovered something horrifying while on my documentary shoot, and that is that the cost of food on this trip has been quadrupled by the fact that I have an effing vegan on my shoot. And to make up for that, Johnny, my assistant cameraman / whatever you do, I don't even know what I'm paying you to do right now.
Yeah. Just annoy you with buying vegan stuff, basically, and stopping you from eating what you want to eat.
Pretty much. But Johnny has agreed to come on my channel and talk / debate with me about his disorder, which...
Okay, I'll pass you on that one for the sake of getting into it. Yeah. By the way, she's talking about this disorder, but like she won't eat
The disorder is that he has a man bun. That's a disorder.
anywhere that doesn't have gluten-free, and she only wants to eat at places where most of the stuff's gluten as well. So like you'll only eat at places that are basically like Italian, like pancakes, stuff like IHOP, like everything that has gluten, but then she just wants a non-gluten thing. So she goes to the most glutinous menu and then it's like, okay, I'll have all of the stuff without gluten, which is basically nothing.
It's been a very complex trip.
Yeah,
Trying to find like this crosshair of John, who's behind the camera right now, other John, who's normal, vegan, and gluten-free. It's been a nightmare.
Okay. Oh my God, Jesus, help me.
Right, this is going to be the last video that I make on vegan gains, right? Alright, first of all, this video has both of those videos that I threatened to upload with vegan gains in it. Alright, so just watch it through and you'll see both those videos. If you don't know what I mean by that, go watch my previous video and fill yourself in and you'll find out what it's about. It's just a little bit of harmless YouTube beef, which everyone loves, right? Even vegans like that kind of beef. For those of you who wanted it,
you're a god. You are a perfect being of divine magnificence.
No, vegan gains. It's too late now, mate. Shut up. Here's the first video of the two.
Pray to Satan, pray to Satan, pray to Satan.
It's time to take
This is such high quality of content. Wow.
on the very worst of the fitness industry. Vegan gains. So my name's Richard. I've been impotent for about 7 years now. I didn't go over what kind of difficulties I had with erectile dysfunction on an almost daily basis because I'm still not done breastfeeding yet. Mwah! Just about everything I say is fucking stupid. I'm just a child, an ignorant child. I don't really have much wisdom. I grew up in the Westboro Baptist Church. I actually do want to give gay men sexual favors in exchange for steroids because you're not a real man unless you put meat in your mouth. But I actually do want to help you and others, which is why I make these videos. Dr. Kim A. Williams is vegan and has stated that a low-fat, vegan, whole foods diet was actually the cause of many of our chronic diseases. Whole grain consumption is associated with AIDS. So don't talk to me about vegan diet. Vegans are just like Nazis. People go vegan to fuck animals. So if any of you are interested in becoming as healthy as you possibly can be, eat tons of meat, dairy, eggs, and processed food. I know you might not like me and you might not listen to me out of spite, but there is a bodybuilder who I think you should listen to.
The greatest feeling you can get in a gym, or the most satisfying feeling you can get in the gym, is having sex with 5,000 people. So I'm coming day and night. I mean, it's terrific, right? So, you know, I'm in heaven.
What, you didn't think that I actually hacked into the guy's computer, did you? Like, I can just about draw. What the fuck would make me think that I know how to hack, man? Okay, now listen, if I'm honest, I said that if Vegan Gains didn't reply to my previous video, that I would then release these other two, right? Which was a complete lie. Like, regardless of what he did, I was still going to upload them, right? But what did happen as a result of him not replying to me was that I carried on snooping and I found some more dirt on him. And this dirt, if I'm honest, is actual dirt. Like the video you just seen, that's a joke, right? But this is actual dirt on him, right? So this is not one of the two videos that I threatened to say. This is like an additional video. Here, so have a look at this. So I was searching around for videos when I stumbled upon this one. But what is it? Let's have a look, right?
My own fitness channel, and it's finally happened. It's called Vegan Gains. Link in the description.
Hang on, that's Vegan Gains. But that video's not uploaded to his current channel, right? Where was that one uploaded? This video was uploaded on his old YouTube channel, Haberdashery 2009. For those of you who don't know what haberdashery is defined as small items used in sewing, such as buttons, zips, and thread. Manly as fuck, right? But you're thinking, all right, grades, right, so you found his old YouTube channel, so what? There's no interesting videos on it, right? That's true. But the interesting stuff is in some of the comments that he's left from that channel. So let's have a look at some of the comments he's made, shall we? First one's not too bad. It's just a bit pussy because here's a comment where he says, I was hospitalized and put on morphine, blah, blah, blah. It's basically him complaining that he was hospitalized, he was on drugs, and he says, it made me super depressed. I started crying for no reason. Like, you whiny bitch. Fuck off, mate. No one cares, right? That's very manly of you, Vegan Gains. Oh, look, here's a comment where he talks about his own death. When I was a young child, I was about to commit suicide and cartoons saved my life. He's basically saying that the reason he's alive right now are these two badly drawn cartoon characters. And how ironic, from the way he's acting, it seems as if maybe there are two other badly drawn cartoon characters that might be of an opposite influence. Let's carry on. Vegan Gains, as I've said before, has a very strong stance on steroids. He's just able to know, like he just knows that, oh, this guy is on steroids, right? How does Vegan Gains have such a knowledge that people are without doubt on steroids? On this website here, Haberdashery wrote, everyone should just assume that anyone who gets paid to look good is on steroids. Oh. Right, so I guess he can shut the fuck up now, can't he? So anyone in future who gets accused by this guy of being on steroids, just tell him to stop assuming and tell him to shut the fuck up. We can all see this, it's very evident, right? Look, Vegan Gains is a beast. Like, look at those mountain peaks right there, mate. Fucking hell. How big are they, mate? Well, according to Vegan Gains, they are 19.5 inches.
You're a funny guy!
They are 19.5-inch arms.
That ain't true what he said.
Lex Fitness, are you saying that Vegan Gains is a liar? Here you can see Vegan Gains and Lex together. And you can also see that Lex's arms are considerably larger than Vegan Gains' arms, right? Here's a video of Lex getting measured up.
I speak your gibberish. My arms were flaccid and then I did some fapping. Just relax, Lex, relax.
14 and a half.
14 and a half and flexed. Okay,
Okay.
so good.
17.
All right, so Lex, whose arms are bigger than Vegan Gains, has 17-inch arms. But Vegan Gains is sat here saying that he's got 19.5-inch arms, which adds to my previous claims from the previous...
Okay. Fascinating, but I'm going to have to go. Fascinating. All right, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the interaction. It was a pretty good debate. It's pretty good. It's pretty good because, I mean, I won fair and square. And and it's actually very deep. It's not a shallow win. It's a very deep win. Unfortunately, people don't appreciate the depth. But this guy towards the end was beginning to appreciate the depth. But it's not important. The important thing is that we made a video, so you can watch it and learn from it. All right, so we proved it's a deep proof. The fact that we proved that veganism is ethically equivalent to Nazism, it's not a shallow proof. It's very involved. You need to study it. You need to understand what an axiom is, and that an axiom doesn't have an ethical value, and that all systems are built on axioms, and including moral systems, and veganism and Nazism are moral or ethical systems. Therefore, veganism and Nazism cannot have ethical values, or whatever ethical values they have are the same. Or if you say they don't, then they don't. They don't have ethical values. So in terms of ethics, they're the same, good or bad, whatever. They're the same. And it's a good proof. Unfortunately, when you prove something, then people say, oh, that's trivial. Okay, before we proved it, like everything after you prove it is trivial. After you're able to explain something, it's trivial. Okay, and it creates contradictions. What do you want from me? I mean, fine. What do you want from me? I mean, you need to be able to disagree with the syllogism, right? We built a syllogism. Did I put it somewhere? Yeah. Oh. He wants to talk? When was this? 425? Oh, that's a long time ago. 312, therefore. There's no way I put this at 312 and now it's 509? 2 hours ago I put this here? I guess. This is weird. Anyway, I'm gonna go. We're done. I gotta relax. See you later. Bye-bye.